Good. On all fronts. All right, happy Sabbath, family.
Happy Sabbath.
I'm Brother Al, for those who don't know. This is my reader, Brother Brian. We're coming to you on behalf of the Vineyard of Israel, in the name of the Most High God, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, with a message on this true Sabbath day, the seventh day of the week. All right, we want to thank the Lord for saving us from great deception, allowing us the opportunity to worship Him in spirit and in truth. All right? Like we said, on this true Sabbath day. All right. With that being said, the title of today's lesson is Stop. Don't take the mark. God will deliver. Stop. Don't take the mark. God will deliver. All right. Most people, at some point in their life, have heard of, the mark of the beast. Right? We know it's a time period coming on this world when the Lord is going to try everybody that say they serve God. He called it the hour of temptation, this time period. It's so bad it got a name. It's the hour of temptation, right? Jacob's trouble. What's your other one? I'm forgetting. Great tribulation, right? And during this time, there's going to be a man ruling. Call him the man of sin, the abomination of desolation, the false prophet, whatever you want to call him, he's going to be ruling this world. And in order for you to operate in his system, you're going to have to take his mark. Right? I believe the mark is spiritual and physical. Because he's going to have a way to tell that you serve and worship him. You pay homage, you obey, you in the system, you in, right? Also, it talks about worship a lot of times, when it's talking about the beast, right? So the beast in prophecy is governments, right? It's four governments, right? We under the fourth one. After this fourth one, the Lord Jesus said He's coming back. So we're dealing with the times of the end, right? That's where we at. This thing is almost over. The Lord already told you it's already fallen. We're just waiting. So I don't want you to put your trust in this system because, people do a lot of stuff for money, right? They sell their soul. They'll sell out their people. They'll turn their back on their children and family, right? Whatever you want to, because covetousness is rampant. And all the world is pretty much going to go after their covetousness, right? Which the Lord warned us against, because that can overtake you. There's a lot of strong tools in this world. Toys. They take people away from the Word of God. They take people away from obeying God. Right? They take people away from even wanting to deal with God. Right? And the Lord is constantly warning us. Right? So during this period, this man gonna put forth his mark. Like I said, you can have $1 million in the bank. You won't even be able to buy a slice of cheese. Right? That's how crucial it's gonna be. It don't matter how much money you got, Michael Jordan, Oprah, everybody's going to have to take this mark they want to eat. Because this man's going to rule the world. He's going to have armies at his disposal. Whatever he say goes. Right? So during this point, he's going to have some resistance, but it's going to come from the saints. What the Bible considers saints is those who keep God's commandments and have the testimony of Jesus. So it's going to be really crucial on you. Because if you take that, you call yourself a saint, you take that mark. Just so you can satisfy this flesh, just so you can eat. Right? The Lord is going to deal with you. He's going to destroy you upon His return. And you got to understand that His return is very close once this mark is implemented. Once this system jumps off. So you just got to hang on and endure 3.5 years. You got to endure. You got to realize that God will deliver. You don't have to take from Satan what you can get from God. But in order for God to deliver, you got to keep your end of the bargain too. You got to be the ones that's following and trusting and believing in God. In order for Him to deliver you, you got to be obeying. You can't expect God to deliver and you don't keep your end of the bargain. When you came into the covenant, you told the Lord you was going to keep His laws and statutes and commandments. That's what you told me. That's what He fully expects. And if you're doing so, that's the ones He's going to protect. Right? The commandments are powerful. We're going to see how powerful they are. But we in the world, right? So we're going to see a lot of stuff. Not of the world, we in the world. So we're going to see a lot of things go down. And I don't want you to get carried away or carried off. Right? It's going to seem almost impossible for the saints. You're going to have to go into hiding. Some of us going to get caught up. Some of us going to lose our life. And that's what we need to realize. Because somebody got to fulfill scripture. Some of us ain't going to make it. I'm trying to prepare my mind in case I don't make it. Matter of fact, it might be better because I can guarantee me a spot if I don't give it in, if I don't give up. I like guarantees, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to go through it, but just in case, some of the saints going to fall. Some of us going to have to be martyrs, right? The Bible say some of them overcame, but they loved not their lives unto the death. You love God more. You proved it. You gave up your life. That might be a better shoe-in for me. I might need to think about that. But, I don't want to go through it. Let me just say that. I don't want that, but if it happens, hey, we need to be able to deal with it. We need to be able to endure. We need to be able to overcome, outlast. Because it's going to be a time like it never was since it was a nation, the Bible says. And we know we ain't ready for that. We ain't prepared. But the best thing we can do now is try to prepare our minds. Because some of us might not make it. All of us might not make it. Then what? You still need to hold out. You still need to have faith in God. And that's what we're going to deal with today. Really, more so the having faith in God. Because God delivered all over the Bible. From Genesis to Revelation, the ones that put their trust and their faith in God, he delivered. He ain't failed not one time. But when you see the whole world collapsing, your faith is really going to be tried and tested. So you're not delighting in the Lord now, you're not strong in the Lord now, it's a good chance you might give it up. We practice. Perfect practice make perfect, not practice make perfect. All right? Let's go start out Isaiah 34:16. We got to put our trust in the Lord. I know it's hard. That's the only hope we got. During that time, you can either take that mark, and if you ain't put your trust in the Lord, now there's no way. It's not a switch you can turn on. He wants you to know he delivers. Our faith has to be increased and exercised. When we come to the Sabbath, that's what happens. He say your faith increased how? By hearing the word. All right? Hearing the word of God. That's how your faith increases. But that's what we're doing on a weekly basis at least. All right? We hear the word. We can kind of know who we're dealing with. Let's say what verse?
16.
Yes, sir. Let me have it.
Seek you out, excuse me. Seek you out the book of the Lord and read.
For what?
No one of these shall fail.
That's right. Now, everybody who put their trust in God, it ain't never failed. Not one time. Everything, it's a lot of pages written. Then they go, he say, put your trust in the Lord. Not one of these shall fail. Go ahead.
None shall want her mate.
Mm-hmm.
For my mouth that had commanded.
Yes.
And his spirit that had gathered them.
So the Lord letting you know it, I can't fail. All you got to do is trust me.
Right.
Right? Isaiah 24:6. All you got to do is trust me. Read a couple of one verses. It's hard to build up that trust if we don't know him. You just like a parent have a child. You need a babysitter. You're not going to drop your baby off with a stranger because you don't trust him. All right? Dealing with the Lord is the same. If you don't know him, you're not going to trust him. Isaiah 26, verse 4. Harken to the scripture. 26, my fault. I said 24:6. Yeah. 26 and 4. Harken to the scripture.
Trust ye in the Lord forever.
Mm-hmm.
For in the Lord, Jehovah is everlasting strength.
That's right. He wants you to know to trust in the Lord. How long you say?
Forever.
Why?
For in the Lord, Jehovah is everlasting strength.
That's right. Not in the system we in.
Right.
Not in the government. Not in our jobs. Not in our parents. Right? Trust in the Lord forever. Right? Because in the Lord, Jehovah is everlasting strength. Isaiah 45. Verse 17. Isaiah 45, verse 17. Hearken to the scripture.
But Israel shall be saved in the Lord with an everlasting salvation.
See, the Lord, he let you know. Just like he did in the old days, he saved the people. He do the same thing at the end times too. He saved people all throughout history. Everlasting, right? Go ahead.
Ye shall not be ashamed.
That's right.
Nor confounded.
Yes.
World without end.
World without, even to the end of the world. He ain't gonna leave. He ain't gonna forsake. You just gotta trust him. And we got so many distractions nowadays. It's designed for us not to even be able to know God. Constantly be distracted so we can never learn to put our trust in God. Always trusting in man and medicine. And I'm not just saying medicine, but man's devices. All right, because that's what they give you so you can trust in them. God give you herbs, man give you chemicals. Huh? God give you the Sabbath, man give you Sunday. What the world trusts in? Sunday worship. Few people listen to the Lord. But he is basically guaranteeing us, right, that he can't fail. We already know he can't lie. So he let you know, put your trust in me. I got this, right? Let's go a little bit further. Give me Philippians 4, verse 19. We're just breaking ice, getting a couple one verses. Philippians 4, verse 19. If we don't trust him now, when stuff hit the fan, when it really get tough, when it really get tight, there ain't no way you're going to put your trust in God. You're not even used to or accustomed to doing so. Man, as creatures of habit, we're going to do what we become accustomed to doing, what we're comfortable with. All right, so if you ain't putting your trust in the Lord, it's not going to happen then if you're not doing it now. Verse 19, hearken to the scripture.
But my God shall supply all your needs.
That's right. All your needs. So you got to know during that great tribulation, you're going to have to rely on the Lord to feed you. He tell you, be comfortable, be content. As long as you got food and raiment. Right? You still alive. You don't need no place to stay. You on the run. You hiding out. As long as you got food and raiment, be content. But he said, the beast going to supply what?
But my God shall supply all your needs.
Okay, I just wanted to see if you was going to read it right. Not the beast, the Lord. He said, my God will supply all your needs. Right? Did you finish that verse?
No, sir.
Go ahead.
According to his riches and glory by Christ Jesus.
By Christ Jesus, right? Okay, back up to Proverbs, the 10th chapter. Just one verse, verse 3. So there's going to be a famine. Not that there's going to be a shortage for food, but it's going to be a controlled famine. Now, I don't want you to give up your salvation because your stomach is hurting. Right? Because we here in America, we ain't never, experienced no scarcity to the point where it's going to be. Right? Man hanging this over your head. You can't eat unless you take this mark. I'm talking about nothing. All right? We ain't never experienced nothing like this. We've been living comfortable, all our life. Even the poorest of us. All right? But at this time, it's going to be really, really bad, especially for Jacob. When I say Jacob, I'm talking about the ones that keep God's laws, statutes, and commandments, believe in Jesus. Right? So that's who counted for the seed. Go ahead, verse 3. Hearken to the scripture.
The Lord will not suffer the soul of the righteous to famish.
That's right. So, even in a famine, he would not. This is why it's important you got to be righteous. Deuteronomy 6:25 tell you the keeping of the commandments is righteousness to you. If you righteous in his eyes and his sight, he would not suffer the righteous to what?
To famish.
To vanish. To suffer hunger, to pass away. And he's been doing it since the beginning. One man in the whole world, he saw him. The whole world is wicked. One man, Noah. God looked down and saw it. His righteousness pays. Right? Righteousness is beneficial. Right? Go to the 11th chapter of Proverbs, picking up at verse 4. 11th chapter of Proverbs, pick me up at verse 4. Hearken to the scripture.
Riches profit not in the day of wrath,
That's right. What's going to deliver you?
but righteousness delivereth from death.
Y'all got that? No matter how much money you got, when the Lord comes down and he bring his wrath through, it's not going to profit. You can see that now. When the Lord give his send his little judgments on you, I ain't saying little judgments, Lord. When the Lord send his judgments on you, you know, with hurricanes and tsunamis, who can pay the Lord to stop it? Lord, I'll give you $50 million if you just stop tsunami Sheena right now. Man, that'll never happen, right? The riches ain't gonna profit you because his wrath is coming. He's trying to get the people to turn from their wicked ways with disasters and stuff like that. These are preventive measures. He just got to go through the extreme because people not listening. People's mind is set on being wicked. The Lord tore up a whole city, New Orleans. He trying to get them people to change. Stop doing all that voodoo and all that devil worship and foolishness down there. They couldn't none of them pay them to stop. They went, what happened? Tore the city up, they went right back to what? Sam Bradley. I mean, same place. Same old thing. Mine is fixed on wickedness. Right? And I ain't just picking on New Orleans, because it's the same way over the world. But we just showing you, we just using that as an example. Right? So the Lord wants you to know riches ain't going to profit you in that day. That's why we need to have our trust in him. Righteousness is what's going to benefit us in that day. Psalms the 19th chapter. To these commandments, they're more than just rules. They're more than just laws. It's like money. You know what I'm saying? The commandments is like money with the Lord. Because you can't buy them. They help you out. They benefit you. You don't benefit the commandments. They benefit you. Right. By keeping them, he said, by honoring your mother and father, he said your days can be long in the land. Now, what amount of money can buy that? How much riches can produce extra or long days? A lot of rich men die early, don't they? So it ain't got nothing to do with money. That's what we need to get our mind wrapped around. All right, we need money to operate in this world, true enough, yeah, but don't put your everything in it. Your faith, your trust, your hope, because it only can go so far. Now, Proverbs 19, verse 7, hearken to the scripture.
The law of the Lord is perfect, converting the soul. The testimony of the Lord is sure.
What does it do?
Making wise the simple.
Well, you need some, if you simple in the word of God, he said, start to read it. Start to learn and put your trust and your faith in it. And it'll start to make you wise. Slowly but surely. If you're diligent with it, it's going to help you to learn his ways. He said the law of the Lord is perfect. Why? Because it converts the soul. It turns a sinner into a saint. It's beneficial for you. Go ahead.
The statutes of the Lord are right.
What happened?
Rejoice in the heart.
That's right. They make you happy because once you find out you have a chance at eternal life instead of damnation, you start to rejoice within. Right? Go ahead.
The commandment of the Lord is pure.
What?
Enlightening the eyes.
That includes the Sabbath day. It's pure. That's why people don't like it, because the world is evil.
Come on.
The commandment of the Lord is pure, enlightening the eyes, giving you understanding on what pleases him, right? Come on.
The fear of the Lord is clean, enduring forever.
Now, the men don't like the fear of God no more. They say, oh, he's just a God of love. He loves everything, everybody, all the time, all day, every day. Wicked, he don't hate the wicked. He just hate what they do, you know. I mean, that's ridiculous stuff. Oh, he hates you. If you commit wickedness, you a sinner, he hates you. I can tell you how it is. He hates you. Ain't no need me telling you he loves you. That's a lie. He hates you. Right? Sweet Jesus, he hates you if you commit sin.
Right.
I'm just keeping it real. Go ahead.
The judgments of the Lord are true and righteous altogether.
That's right. The judgments of, that's what the truth is. And they righteous. That's the right way to walk. Go ahead.
More to be desired are they than gold.
See, look at it is. Now the Lord is telling you. Two options on the table: money, right? And the commandments or the laws and statutes. He's telling you which one is better for you. Is he lying? He must not be telling, because we don't believe it. He must not be telling. The Lord ain't lying, we just don't believe it. More to be desired than what?
Than gold. Yeah, than much fine gold.
And much fine gold. Go ahead.
Sweeter also than honey and the honeycomb.
Yeah, this is the commandment. They sweeter also than the honey and the honeycomb. What?
Moreover, by them is thy servant warned.
That's right. That's good for us. See, during this time of great tribulation, he already done warned his servants of a place to escape, a place of shelter, a place we can go and see the destruction of the wicked. We warn by the keeping of his laws and statutes, commandments, his ways, and his testimony. His servants are warned. All the world is gonna fall into this tribulation. But his servants, he warned us of a place. So if you have faith in him, you can get to that place of safety. And you can be safe. Even though some of us are gonna fall. Some of y'all gonna fall. We just need to be aware. Right? Just in case you don't make it, don't think the Lord don't love you. That's what I'm saying. But some people got to be a martyr. That's just how it is. But you get a good witness. You won't be the first martyr. You know, you have a good witness, right? Go ahead.
And in keeping of them, there is a great reward.
See? You thought you just had to do it, oh, it's bondage, Lord, just don't want me to sin, ain't nothing. No. Great reward. You're not serving God for nothing. You get a chance to know the Creator, you be on a first name basis with him. Once you pray, he hear you. You know, that's big. Because there's a lot of people praying. But there's a lot of people he just not listening to. So no, because this is big. Because once you get in trouble, you're going to need to call on the Lord. And if he's not hearing you, you just stuck out. That means you out there in the middle of the sea with no life raft. Whatever happens. If you can swim to the shore, you can make it. If not, you're going to drown. The Lord ain't helping you. Right? That's the importance of keeping the commandments. When you call out in the time of trouble, he'll hear you. His name is the deliverer, the savior. That's what he do. In Hebrew, the name of the children basically after their jobs. He gave us the name. He the savior. He the deliverer. That's what he does. That's who he is. And he the only one. So you get stuck and he ain't hearing you, that's your fault. That's your fault. That's not his. Go ahead.
Who can understand his errors?
That's right. None of us. That's why we need the word. That's why we need the Lord to tell us what we do, because we always right. We keep every command. Let us tell it.
Right.
But you need that reproof, that instruction that come by way of the word. You need that. Go ahead.
Cleanse thou me from secret fault. Keep back thy servant also from presumptuous sin.
That's intentional sin. Go ahead.
Let them not have dominion over me.
Let sin not have dominion or rulership or reign over me. Go ahead.
Then shall I be upright.
Then, if I follow all of these guidelines, then and only then am I considered upright. That's righteous. Go ahead.
And I shall be innocent from the great transgression.
He said, then I'll be innocent from that great transgression. Right? Psalms 118. Psalms 118 verse 4. So the Lord is assuring us, if we do our part, he'll do his. We just got to do our part. Psalm 118, verse 4 through 6, and then we'll drop down to verse 8. Psalm 118, verse 4. Hearken to the scripture.
Let them now that fear the Lord say that his mercy endureth forever.
That's why his mercy does endure forever. Go ahead.
I called upon the Lord in distress. And the Lord answered me and set me in a large place.
See, that's what we're going to have to do. Every time that great tribulation period, that's going to be a big time of distress and discomfort. He said, you call upon the Lord, then he'll answer. But you got to be doing your part. That's what it means. Keeping of the commandments is great reward. One of the rewards is the Lord will hear you. When you pray, he answers. You know, when you came up in that Sunday church, you know, you just be praying and praying and praying. And it seemed like nothing happened, nothing moving, nothing shaking. Right? And you keep on going down that same rabbit hole. After a while, you stop believing. But the problem ain't with God, it's with us. Yep, through sin and transgression, that's what separates us from him. That's why they calling and praying and ain't nothing happening, nothing moving. So you don't want to be in that tribulation period when you need the Lord to deliver. You call upon him and ain't nothing happening. Nothing shaking and nothing moving. Keeping of the commandments is great reward. He'll listen if you do your part. Go ahead.
The Lord is on my side.
We need that. Because if the Lord is on your side, who can be against you and prosper? Nobody. All right, go ahead.
I will not fear. What can man do unto me?
See, if the Lord ain't on your side, you know, we fear everything. In the morning, in the evening. Right? Terrified all the time. Running when nobody chasing you. Huh? Running and falling down like the horror movie. Always getting caught. Huh? The Lord on your side, he said, I will not fear what man can do to me. Drop down to verse 8. Go ahead.
It is better to trust in the Lord than to put confidence in man.
Ain't that better?
Yes, sir.
It's better to trust in the Lord than to put confidence in man. And
it is better to trust in the Lord than to put confidence in princes.
That's rulers, governments, leaders. Right? It's better to trust in the Lord than to trust in any man.
Right.
Huh? Because we're going to have this. Trust and faith and confidence that the Lord will be able to sustain us for 3.5 years. It's going to be real different with you not being able to live in a house for 3.5 years. Maybe not being able to change clothes for 3.5 years or shoes. Some of us going to be hidden when it comes to shoes. Some of us deal with everything else except them shoes. Huh? It's going to be a real different way of life. Survival every day for 3.5 years. Every day can be your last day. It can now, but you will really have that type of fear at that point. Every day can be your last day. 3.5 years strong. Your life is in the balance. And if the Lord ain't on your side, hey, it's dangerous. It's real dangerous. What verse you at?
Verse 10.
No, that's good. Back me up to Psalms 18. So it's better for us to put our trust in the Lord. We're going to see, when the people was righteous, the Lord delivered them. Every single time. And even though this man going to have worldwide rulership, he still ain't too big for the Lord. A lot of people in the truth going to fall off. Because number one, it ain't in their heart. Number two, they ain't going to be used to going without nothing for this longer period of time. So even though you hear it and you know it, come up short. That's why it got to be in your heart. It got to be. Verse 2, hearken to the scripture.
The Lord is my rock,
and
my fortress, and my deliverer.
See, the Lord is the protector. He the rock, he the fortress. And what else?
My deliverer.
The Lord is going to be the one to have to deliver you. Because you don't better rely on the system. Because you're going to have to take the mark. So they're not going to deliver you. The Lord is going to be the one to have to bring deliverance. And if you serve him, he said he's not going to suffer the upright to hunger. He said he supply all your needs. You need to eat for 3.5 years, don't you? Maybe not every day, but to the point where you don't pass away. All right? Go ahead.
My God.
Huh?
My strength.
Yes.
In whom I will trust.
See? What else?
My buckler and the horn of my salvation.
Yeah, he's the one that's going to save you. Go ahead.
And my high tower.
And my high tower. Go ahead.
I will call upon the Lord, who is worthy to be praised.
And what'll happen?
So shall I be saved from mine enemies.
That's right. That's the only hope we got. See, we saying it now, you know, it's cute, but it's going to be a time you got to prove it, show and prove. That's right. You going to pass the test or you going to fail. And the price is too big to fail. You might well die before you take that mark. That's what I encourage. Do not take that mark by any means. They're going to. What verse?
4.
Go ahead.
The sorrows of death compassed me.
Yes.
And the floods of ungodly men made me afraid.
That's how it's going to be all around. Terrible time. The Bible going to tell us it ain't been a time this bad since the world wasn't created, since it was a nation. All right, go ahead.
The sorrows of hell compassed me about. The snares of death prevented me. In my distress I called upon the Lord.
That's what we're going to be doing, right? In my distress I called upon the Lord.
And cried unto my God.
Yes.
He heard my voice out of his temple. And my cry came before him even into his ears.
That's right. And that's what we need on our side. We need that type of help. But in order for that, us to get that type of help, we got to be keeping his commandments. His laws, his statutes, his rules, his regulations. We got to give ourselves over to being righteous. To yield your members to righteousness. Just like you yield your members to wickedness when you was in the world. He said, do it the same way. Because this time is coming. This time is coming on the world. Like I said, it's called the hour of temptation. All right, let's go look at it. Revelations 3 and 10. Revelations 3. Revelations 3, verse 10. Revelations 3 and 10. Hearken to the scripture.
Because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I will also keep thee from the hour of temptation.
That's right, the word of my patience, that's his laws, his commandments, his statutes, his testimony, and Jesus. Because you kept that, what you say, Jesus? Go ahead.
The word of my patience, I will also keep thee from the hour of temptation.
That means he got a place for you during that time. Go ahead.
Which shall come upon all the world.
To do what?
To try them that dwell upon the earth.
So you say you serve God at this point? You're going to be tested. You're going to be tried. Show and prove. No more coming before the prophet and hiding, you know, your what's in your heart. Nobody can tell. But at this point, it's going to have to come out. It's going to be revealed. It's going to be show and prove. You say you serve God, and that faith is going to be tested. Right? Because like you say, you ain't never suffered hunger to the point how it's going to be. We ain't never been without to this magnitude. You have never had the whole world against you like it's going to be at this time. Your own family members will be turning you in. It ain't never been this bad, but it's approaching. It's time to start preparing our mind. You finish that verse, go to 14th chapter of Revelation, pick me up at verse 12. Because he said, because you kept the word of my patience, I will also keep you from this hour of temptation, which is going to come upon the whole world, a trial. Revelation 14 and 12, go ahead.
Here is the patience of the saints.
What is?
Here are they that keep the commandments of God and the faith of Jesus.
So because you kept that, the word of my patience, I'm going to keep you also from that hour of temptation.
That's right.
Right? See, we won. We got a place where we can go. The wilderness, the place of safety. Right? Once you get out there, you got to rely on God to provide. You got to know He's going to provide once you get there. Right? You finished?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Back me up real quick. Matthew 24th chapter. Because right now, you know, people giving it up. They selling their soul for everything now. On the cheap. Anything for $1. Anything for a little profit. People giving it up. Matthew 24. We'll start at verse 13. So I don't want that to be us. The Lord ain't never told us it was going to be easy. But He did tell us what to expect. He did tell us how to deal with this stuff. He is trying to put us in the right mind frame. So that we can overcome. So that we can endure. So that we can receive His help. Right? It's going to take everything. Verse 13. This is Matthew 24, verse 13. So the apostles came to Jesus. They were trying to show him the temple, and he was telling them it's going to be thrown down, this and that. And they was asking him, when is all this going to happen? What's going to be the sign of your coming, and what's going to be the end of the world? And he went forth, started to tell them, let no man deceive you. He said there's going to be wars and rumors of wars. But he said, don't worry about it. Nation going to rise up against nation. All this stuff going to happen. But it's just the beginning of sorrows. All right? He said, many going to come in my name, and they're going to deceive many. He said, you're going to be hated, afflicted. You shall be delivered up for His name's sake. And people going to betray each other. False prophets going to deceive. Iniquity is going to abound. But he said, he that endured to the end. So he let you know it's a lot for you to face before I come back. Just don't give up. Verse 13, hearken to the scripture.
But he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved.
That's the end of the world and the end of your life, whichever come first. Right? Because if you get caught, you're going to have to endure to the end of your life. Because if you take that mark, you just sold your soul. Go ahead and read.
And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations.
So if the true gospel already been preached, why ain't the world ended yet?
Right.
If modern day Christianity was the true gospel, why ain't the world ended? Because it ain't the true gospel. Can't be. Else the world would have been unended. Right? Unless Jesus is alive. You know that ain't happening. You know that ain't even possible. So it's not the true gospel. He said it's going to be preached into all the world. Where you at?
Middle of 14.
Go ahead.
For a witness unto all nations.
Yes.
And then shall the end come.
And this true gospel is going to be contrary to modern day Christianity and all these other religions. Because the world is going to be, they're going to agree. One world religion. The only opposition it's going to face is Jacob. The true servants of God, the one that's keeping His laws and statutes and commandments. That's why it's going to be a time of trouble for Jacob. You the only one opposing this worldwide religion? I got to get you out of here. So I know what I can do. You can take this mark or you won't eat. God already told you to take that mark. You're going to get flamed up. It's better to suffer a little bit real quick with swift than to suffer for eternity. So the two rewards on the table is suffer. It's either suffer for a minute and what man can do to you, or suffer forever. You got to make a conscious decision. Not suffering is not an option. That's not on the menu. Okay, so let's just wrap our mind around that first.
Right.
Not suffering, that's not an option at this point. It's either suffer for a minute, what man can do to you, or suffer forever, what the Lord can do to you. So you got to make your mind up. Right? The Lord never told you serving Him was going to be easy, a piece of cake. Many people done suffer, many righteous. He told you, matter of fact, all that live righteous gonna what? Suffer persecution. So we ain't exempt. We gotta prepare ourselves. What verse you at, Brian?
15.
Okay, give me 15.
When you therefore shall see the abomination of desolation.
Right, this is going to be the man that's ruling the whole world. The Bible calls him abomination of desolation, the false prophet, the man of sin, son of perdition, that's destruction. But that's what he's going to bring. Go ahead and read.
Spoken of by Daniel the prophet.
And Daniel indeed speak about it. But if you don't read the Old Testament, you're not going to go and see what Daniel had to say. Therefore, you're going to get caught up in his tribulation. Because this is the sign that it's about to jump off. The Lord is warning. If he already gave you the one, you know it's a place of safety, you need to get ready to flee. You need to leave that stuff behind. You ain't got time to worry about that house, that car, those clothes. Take what you got and get out of there. Go ahead.
Stand in the holy place.
Yep.
Whosoever readeth, let him understand.
And the holy place is Jerusalem. Once you see that happen, that's where you're going to set up shop. Why? Because he's trying to tell the world that he is the replacement of the Son of God, the figure of Christ, the man of sin. He's going to implement the mark of the beast. You need to see who are all paying homage and worshiping him. All right? Drop down to verse 20, 21. Go ahead.
For then shall be great tribulation.
So after you see that, that's the sign. It lets you know it's about to happen. He said, then there shall be great tribulation. This is that hour of temptation he was talking about. Also called Jacob's trouble. Right? We're going to read that in a minute too. Go ahead.
Such as was not since the beginning of the world.
This how bad these times are going to be. We ain't prepared for this. I don't even know how to tell you to prepare for this. Right? Other than get yourself right with God. Right? That's the only hope we got. So go ahead.
To this time, no, nor ever shall be.
So it's never been a time this bad. Go ahead.
And except those days should be shortened.
What happened?
There should no flesh be saved.
Man, they destroy everything. Except those days be shortened. Why did the Lord shorten? Go ahead.
But for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened.
For his elects, his chosen. So they say he's going to shorten the day. Else all flesh should be destroyed. Man and beast. That's how bad these times are going to be. Go ahead.
Then if any man shall say unto you, Lo, here is Christ, or there, believe it not.
So that's what he's going to tell you. The abomination of desolation. He's going to portray himself to be God. And the world going to go for it. But the Lord is telling you, if any man say, here is Christ, or there is Christ, what he say?
If any man shall say unto you, Lo, here is Christ, or there, believe it not.
Don't believe him. Go ahead.
For there shall arise false Christ.
So if you got up without understanding or lack understanding, just know the fake one got to come first. I'm just saying, that's the easiest way to tell if Christ done made it back yet. Have we seen the fake one? No? Okay, well, that ain't. He ain't here yet then. Go ahead.
And false prophets.
Yes.
And shall shew great signs and wonders.
See, that's how you're going to get people tripped up. You're going to be showing signs and wonders and miracles, and you don't get it, people are going to go for it. The world is going to accept it. This got to be God. He made fire come down from heaven. Only God can do that. All right? Deceived. Go ahead.
Insomuch that if it were possible, they shall deceive the very elect.
And so we on the table too. The very elect you on the table too. Deception is coming your way too. The man is going to be operating so much with signs and wonders that it can deceive you if it's possible. If you ain't strong enough in the word, this ain't in your heart for real, you on the table, just as the sinner. Because remember, this coming up on the whole world to do what? Try them. So we on the table too. It's going to be a time of trouble, terrible time. But like you say, the false one's going to come first. He said he was spoken of by Daniel the prophet, and we're going to go see about it in a minute. But let's get Jeremiah the 30th chapter. And then we'll do 2 Thessalonians 2, just to look at that man of sin. Because he's coming, he's on the way. The world ain't ready. We still playing, jumping and running, singing and dancing, right? We still playing sports and going shopping on the Sabbath. We still washing cars and birthday parties on God's feast days. We still, it's unleavened bread. We still eating hamburgers. Right? I'm just saying, like, whatever the Lord tells us not to do, we still doing it. So we ain't ready. But the Lord ain't gonna wait. Because He's giving us plenty of time now. Verse 1. Jeremiah 30, verse 1. Hearken to the scripture.
The word that came to Jeremiah from the Lord, saying,
Yes.
Thus speaketh the Lord God of Israel, saying, Write all these words that I have spoken unto thee in the book.
Yes.
For lo, the days come, saith the Lord,
Yes.
that I will bring again the captivity of my people Israel and Judah, saith the Lord.
We know His people are scattered all across the world. Since 70 A.D., Israel been in every land, all across the world. Judah been in every land, all across the world. But He said, at this time, I'm going to bring my people back. I'm going to put them in their own land. They're going to dwell safely. All right, go ahead.
I will cause them to return to the land that I gave to their fathers.
That's right. That the land that He gave to their fathers, He's going to cause them to return and assume their possession. Go ahead.
And they shall possess it.
That's right.
And these are the words that the Lord spake concerning Israel and concerning Judah.
What did He say?
For thus saith the Lord, We have heard a voice of trembling,
Yes.
of fear,
And
not of peace.
like what?
Ask ye now, and see whether a man doth travail with child.
Right?
Wherefore do I see every man with his hands on his loins, as a woman in travail, and all faces are turned into paleness.
It's going to be a terrible day. Terrible time. What else?
Alas, for the day is great,
So what?
so that none is like it.
That's what the Lord just got to telling us. It's going to be a time that it wasn't since it was a nation. Ain't none like this. It's time to start getting ready. Go ahead.
It is even the time of Jacob's trouble.
Or the great tribulation, the hour of temptation. Jacob is going to be in trouble. Because Jacobs are the ones that keep God's commandments and the testimony of Jesus. It's going to be almost impossible for us to do that at this point. Your life might be required. That's how serious it is. If you didn't think the commandments was that serious, that's how serious it is. Your life might be required. It's going to be a time of Jacob's trouble because everybody else is going to be paying homage to the beast, worshiping and serving him. Jacob is going to be the only one causing problems. You finished that?
No, sir.
Go ahead.
But he shall be saved out of it.
And who going to save him? Who going to save him? We've just been reading. Only the Lord can deliver. Only the Lord. 1 Thessalonians 2. 1 Thessalonians 2, verse 1. These days are approaching. Perilous times are on the horizon. Ain't gonna be nothing fun and funny about this time. Verse 1. Hearken to the scripture.
For yourselves, brethren,
What happened?
know our entrance unto you that it was not in vain.
No, what verse, what chapter you at?
1 Thessalonians 2 and 1.
2 Thessalonians.
Oh.
Sorry. That's my fault. 2 Thessalonians 2. Hearken to the scripture.
Now we beseech you, brethren, by the coming of the Lord Jesus Christ, and by the gathering together unto him,
That's right. So we're speaking about the coming or the return of Christ. Go ahead.
that you be not soon shaken in mind,
Uh-huh.
or be troubled,
Uh-huh.
neither by spirit,
Yes.
nor by word word,
yes,
nor by letter as from us,
yes,
as that the day of Christ is at hand. Let no man deceive you by any means.
Because remember, the Lord warned us about that, because deception is going to be at its highest. All right, he said, let no man deceive you by any means.
For that day shall not come, except there come a falling away first.
Falling away from the truth. This day can't come until it be a falling away first, and what else got to happen?
And that man of sin be revealed.
And that man of sin has to be revealed. Who is that?
The son of perdition.
Which is also called abomination of desolation. The son of perdition, the man of sin. All of these are his title. The little horn, and spoken of in Daniel. Speaking great words against the Most High. He's going to be saying he God. And everybody's going to go for it. They're going to be on board. The Antichrist, some people call him. Right? Keep rolling. So if the Lord don't want us to be deceived, he telling you what's got to happen first before he returns. All right, go ahead. And this is what that man of sin does. Go ahead.
Who upset and exalted himself above all that is called God.
All right, so this man of sin, he opposes and exalts himself above everything that is called God. He in opposition. Is God is holy? I'm against it. No, it ain't. All right, one thing he does right now, he changes the times and the laws of God. Lord say, man sleep with man is abomination. He say, no, it ain't. They love each other. Two beards. Abomination. All right. Man, Lord say, remember the Sabbath and keep it holy. He say, no. Sunday is the Christian Sabbath. It's our mark of authority. Everything that is called God, he in opposition to it. Go ahead.
Or that is worship.
Or that is worship. Go ahead.
So that he as God sitteth in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God.
See, that's what he's going to be doing. Showing himself that he is God. Vicarious Philly die. That's one of his titles. 666. It means the replacement of the Son of God. This is who we saying he is. And you're the replacement of the Son of God, and you got worldwide rulership? Oh my God. You call yourself a saint at this point? You number one on the hit list. Skip all my other enemies. Where them saints at? Where them Christians? Where they at? Let's get them. Let's get them. You're going to be afraid. Alright? Because this man exalts himself. He's sitting in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God. Go ahead. So he's going to set up shop in Jerusalem. Make no mistake about it. That's where God's temple has always been. That's where his name is. Alright? So he's trying to deceive. He's going to go right to that place. He's going to leave his headquarters, Vatican City. He's leaving there. He's going to set up shop in Jerusalem. When you see that, you better start running towards that wilderness. Go ahead and read.
Remember you not, that when I was yet with you, I told you these things.
Yes.
And now you know what withholdeth, that he might be revealed in his time. For the mystery of iniquity doeth already work.
See, he's going to be revealed in his time. He said, but the mystery of iniquity, the mystery of sin is already at work. Go ahead.
Only he who know letteth will let, until he be taken out of the way.
Yes, sir.
And then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming.
So the Lord is going to be the one to take him down. He's going to rule until the Lord take him down. Go ahead.
Even him whose coming is after the working of Satan.
That's right. Satan been given his power, his seat, and great authority. That's why he's going to have the power to do all these signs and lying wonders.
Right. He's
working directly with Satan. Go ahead.
With all power and signs and lying wonders.
Yes, sir.
And with all deceivableness and unrighteousness in them that perish, because they receive not the love of the truth.
So he's going to be deceiving the world pretty much. with unrighteousness, though. That's how he's going to deceive them, with unrighteousness. And the ones that going to go for it, they're going to perish. Why? Because you receive not the love of the truth. See, the truth got to go forth as a witness. And then the end can come. So it's another gospel. It's a counterfeit gospel out here. But it ain't the truth. But if you don't believe the truth, you're going to perish, he said. Go ahead.
That they might be saved.
Mm-hmm.
And for this cause, God shall send them strong delusions.
So they love them lies. You hate the truth. So why wouldn't you? You getting what you deserve. You reward every man equally by the work of their hands. You showing and proving to the Lord that you hate him, that you don't like him, you can't stand him. So he ain't loving you anyway. He giving you up to strong delusion. Go ahead.
That they should believe a lie.
That you gonna believe a lie. Go ahead.
That they all might be damned who believe not the truth.
What? That they all might be damned that don't believe the truth. That's how important the truth is. This lets you know it's only one truth.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't no your truth is truth and my truth is truth and his truth is truth. No. The truth. Singular. It's only one truth. Go ahead.
But had pleasure in unrighteousness.
And you have pleasure in unrighteousness. God, he gonna give you over to the strong delusion. He said that you may be damned. Ones that had pleasure in unrighteousness. What verse?
13.
That's good. Go to Daniel 11 chapter. So this man gonna have all that power. He's gonna have military, army at his disposal. Kingdoms under his belt. So whatever he say is gonna go. And he gonna have indignation for the saints. He gonna have indignation for the saints. Right? Pick me up at verse, let's see what we want. 28. Go ahead.
Then shall he return into his land with great riches, and his heart shall be against the holy covenant.
See, this man, his heart, his mind is already against the holy covenant. Against it. Anti. All right, go ahead.
And he shall do exploits, and return to his own land.
Yes.
At the time appointed he shall return and come toward the south, but it shall not be as the former or as the latter. For the ships of Chittim shall come against him. Therefore he shall be grieved and return and have indignation against the holy covenant. So shall he do.
This is why he's going to be at war with the saints. He got indignation against the holy covenant. And he's going to do exploits. He said, show said he do. What happened?
He shall even return and have intelligence with them that forsake the holy covenant.
And what else?
And arms shall stand
so
on
some
his
people
part.
don't forsake this, the holy covenant. He said he's going to have intelligence with them, and arms shall stand on his part. That's armies. Go ahead.
And they shall pollute the sanctuary of strength, and shall take away the daily sacrifice, and they shall place the abomination that maketh desolate.
That's him. They're going to place him in the temple. Go ahead.
And such as do wickedly against the covenant shall he corrupt by flatteries.
Yes, such as do wickedly against the covenant, he's going to corrupt them by flatteries. All right, go ahead.
But the people that do know their God shall be strong and do exploit.
Yes.
And
Hold on. We're coming right back. I'm going to show you something else he do before I forget. Daniel 7 and 25. We're coming right back to that 33rd verse. Daniel 7 verse 25. This is one of the ways he wage war against the saints. Even as we speak. The man of sin, abomination of desolation, son of perdition. That's him. All the little horn. All of these are his titles. The false prophet. Some even call him the Antichrist. And he's going to have worldwide rulership. Armies at his disposal. No limit. He's going to bring in that mark. He's going to implement the mark of the beast. Go ahead.
And he shall speak great words against the Most High.
That's what we read. Remember, it told us in Thessalonians, he's going to exalt himself and impose everything that is holy or everything that is called God, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he's going to do what you say?
Speak great words against the Most High.
Great words against the Most High. Go ahead.
And shall wear out the saints.
This is how he calls something to go astray. Who he wearing out?
The saints.
Man, it's on. We'll pray. Go ahead.
The saints of the Most High.
Yes.
And think to change times and laws.
This is one way he's doing it. Think to change times and laws.
And they shall be given into his hand until a time and times and a dividing of time.
3.5 years. Same length as the Great Tribulation. Go back to that 33rd verse in the 11th chapter. So this man, he can't stand the Holy Covenant. He's totally against it to the point where he's changing times and laws and thinking to wear out the saints by any means necessary. And he got Satan helping him out. He called the son of perdition. He come to destroy. He gonna flatter with peace. He gonna use peace. Well, 33, go ahead.
Yes, sir. And they that understand among the people shall instruct many.
Okay, so he said, we're gonna have some people that understand. He's gonna instruct many people, right? Go ahead.
Yet they shall fall by the sword and by flame.
Somebody gotta fulfill this. Sword, that's war, flame, fire. Somebody gotta fulfill this. Go ahead.
By captivity.
Mm-hmm.
And
Some
by
are gonna go
spoil.
into captivity. Some gonna be slaves, captives. What else?
And by spoil.
And by
Many.
spoil, how many?
Many days.
And what else?
Now, when they shall fall, they shall be hoping
Yes.
with a little help.
So the Lord's gonna help us a bit, right? He ain't gonna just leave us out. He's gonna kind of counterbalance it a bit, a little help. Go ahead.
For many shall cleave to them with flattery.
Well, many people gonna turn away, gonna fall away. Go ahead.
And some of them of understanding shall fall.
That means be killed. So some of us with understanding might not make it. But that don't mean the Lord has forsaken you.
Mm-hmm.
Because he said, I'll be with you even until the end of the world. So we got to do our job to the end. Speak this truth to try to help somebody. That's your job. You come, you learn about God, you're supposed to speak it when you get a chance. All right? Go ahead.
To try them.
To try them.
And to purge.
Mm-hmm.
And to make them white.
Yes.
Even to the time of the end. Because it is yet for a time appointed.
And what else?
And the king shall do according to his will. And he shall exalt himself.
And what else?
And magnify himself above every God.
Isn't that what Thessalonians told us?
Mm-hmm.
He's going to exalt himself, magnify himself above every God. Go ahead.
And shall speak marvelous things against the God of gods.
And what else?
And shall prosper till the end of nations be accomplished. For that it is determined shall be done.
That's right. Go ahead.
Neither shall he regard the God of his fathers, nor the desire of women.
So this man gonna desire no women. He hell bent on destroying the saints. That's all he care about. Speaking words against the Most High, destroying the saints. Go ahead.
Nor regard any God, for he shall magnify himself above all.
Worldwide rulership. That's all that's on his mind. Verse 45. Hearken to the scripture.
And he shall plant tabernacles of his palace between the seas and the glorious holy mountain.
Where is that at? That's in Jerusalem.
That's right.
The man is going to set up shop in Jerusalem. All right, because he got to sit in the temple of God saying that he is God. He shall plant the tabernacles of his palaces between the seas and the glorious holy mountain. There's only one glorious holy mountain on this earth. Jerusalem. Go ahead.
Yet he shall come to his end, and none shall help him.
The Lord is going to destroy that man. But he gonna do some damage. All right, but the Lord is going to destroy him. So we got to hold on. Let's go to Revelation 6 and let's see this man come on the scene. See some of his tools he's going to use. Revelation 6. Verse 1. Revelation 6 and 1. We're going to be tight on this, y'all. Going to be tight. It's going to be tight. So you need to get your mind based on survival, based on, set on perfecting the commandments. Right? Working in the commandments to keep. Exercising your faith. You're going to need it. If a man faint in the day of adversity, they say, that means his faith is small. You're going to need that. All stunts. Verse 1. This is Revelation 6 and 1. Harken to the scripture.
And I saw when the Lamb opened one of the seals.
What you see?
And I heard, as it were the noise of the thunder, one of the four beasts saying, Come and see.
Come and see. What do you want him to see?
And I saw,
what?
And behold, a white horse. And he that sat on him had a bow, and a crown was given unto him.
Ain't Jesus going to come on a white horse? See, but Jesus got many crowns. He the King of kings. And his crown wasn't given. This man coming with a bow, and he sat on a white horse, and crown was given unto him. He imitating Jesus. Right? Showing himself that he is God. Remember what the scripture said previously. Right? So he coming, with a crown was given unto him, and what did he do?
And he went forth conquering and to conquer.
Remember, he got armies at his disposal. And he coming forth to conquer, and he conquering. Believe you me, he conquering. Go ahead.
And when he had opened the second seal, I heard the second beast say, Come and see.
Yes.
And there went out another horse that was red, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth.
These days coming. Power was given unto him to take peace away from the earth. Go ahead.
And that they should kill one another.
That's right. Go ahead. How?
And there was given unto him a great sword.
That's right. That's war. Peace is taken from the earth. That's what this man, that's part of conquering. Nobody gonna give up their kingdom peacefully. You gotta take it if you want it.
Right.
You want to conquer the world, you have to go through some people. Nobody just giving up nothing. So this man gonna be conquering. Believe it. Go ahead.
And when he had opened the third seal, I heard the third beast say, Come and see.
Yes.
And I beheld, and lo, a black horse. And he that sat on him had a pair of balances in his hand.
And what did he say?
And I heard a voice in the midst of the four beasts say, A measure of wheat for a penny, and 3 measures of barley for a penny.
So let's go. This is representing a famine. A world of famine all over. A controlled famine at that. There's plenty of resources, but the man got control of them. He gonna have to control who he what. That's why if you don't have that mark, you can have $1 million. You won't be able to buy a slice of bread. He controlling the famine. He conquering this thing. Go ahead.
And see, thou hurt not the oil and the wine.
Yes.
And when he had opened the fourth seal, I heard the voice of the fourth beast say, Come and see.
What happened?
And I looked, and behold, a pale horse, and his name that sat on him was Death, and hell followed with him.
Death and hell followed. Go ahead. Hell is like conditions. It's trouble, chaos all over the world. Go ahead.
And power was given unto them over the fourth part of the earth.
That's right, because he got to take over his section of the earth first. Once he get his area taken care of, it's going to spread throughout. Once I conquer my area, I can go with that and conquer the rest of this thing. Well, it's going to get conquered. Because this man going to have the power. Go ahead.
To kill with sword
and
with hunger.
Yes.
With death
and
with the beast of the earth.
Go ahead.
And when he had opened the fifth seal, I saw under the altar the souls of them that were slain for the word of God.
So you're going to be killing the saints. You might have to give it up. You might have to lay it down. That's your life. He's at war with the saints. And he prevailed. Remember, they say he prevailed. So you might have to give it up. Go ahead.
And for the testimony which they held.
That's good. For the word of God. The saints held on. The saints are hold on. They'll give up their life for the word. And that's probably what it's going to take. So if we get caught, we don't make it to that place of safety, it's a good chance that you can get killed for the word of God. Right? If you don't take that mark, you're not going to eat. And we ain't never seen what a real family can do. I'm going to show you. People go through, it's been some extreme measures, even in the Bible. We ain't never experienced nothing like this. Because in America, everything is okay. We might not like it. Things are bad, but we ain't had that nationwide famine and experienced nothing like that yet. All right, but just be patient. Revelation 13 chapter. Don't ever think it can't happen. We just one major event away. This economy holding on by. If something was thinner than the thread, I'd say that. Right, but the thread. You know what I'm saying? 13:1. Hearken to the scripture.
And I stood upon the sand of the sea.
Yes.
And saw a beast rise up out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and upon his horns 10 crowns.
Yes.
And upon his heads the name of blasphemy.
Right, worldwide rulership. Gentile dynasties coming together. Not 4 separate beasts this time, but they're going to come together as one. All right, go ahead.
And the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard, and his feet were as the feet of a bear, and his mouth as the mouth of a lion. And the dragon gave him his power and his seat and great authority.
So they coming together, right? He said that the dragon gave him his seat, his power, and great authority. That's how the man going to have those armies working on his behalf. They're going to come together probably under a peace treaty, something like that, right? And just know that Satan has given him his power, his seat, and great authority. This is how he can bring forth his agenda. Go ahead.
And I saw one of his heads as if it were wounded to death, and his deadly wound was healed.
Yes.
And all the world wondered after the beast.
That's the beast. All the world wondered after the beast. Go ahead.
And they worshiped the dragon which gave power unto the beast.
What they do?
They worshiped the dragon.
That's right. They took on his mark. They agreed with what he's delivering unto them. They worshiped the dragon. Alright? That's Satan, which gave power unto the beast. So the beast is going to be putting forth Satan's agenda. And the whole world is going to go for it. They're going for it now. It's a counterfeit gospel going around. Who put that counterfeit gospel forth? The beast. The great dreadful beast, the fourth one, the Roman Empire. That's where this stuff coming from. The man of sin, that's where he coming from. He the Pope, the Papacy, son of perdition, the little horn. That's him. He's going to be ruling the world by religion. Speaking great words against the Most High. That's why the saints are going to be against him, opposed to him. And since you're opposed to my one world religion, we got to get you out of here. Some of us going to fall, but we got a good witness. Because he said you're going to instruct many before you fall. That's good for us. Huh? See, death ain't always bad for the saints, because the Lord say his saints' death is of a great price, or he take pleasure in it. So it ain't always bad for a saint. You just got to know that's on the table for us. It's always a possibility or an option. All right? This is what you signed up for. Ain't no need of me not telling us. It's a possibility, right? I know we don't like to face this, but we can't hide from it all the time. That's what I'm saying. Right? Because the longer you hide from it, if it comes to you, you might be willing to cross over. Right? You never know. But go ahead.
And they worship the beast, saying,
Yes.
Who is like unto the beast?
Yes.
Who is able to make war with him?
Uh-huh.
And there was given unto him a mouth speaking great things and blasphemy.
Yes.
And the power was given unto him to continue 40 and 2 months.
40 and 2 long. 40 and 2 months, 3.5 years, the great tribulation. He got power to rule and reign. Right? The Lord got his hands off at this point. He let him do what he gonna do. But he gonna pay. Go ahead.
And he opened his mouth in blasphemy against God,
Mm-hmm.
to blaspheme his name,
Yes.
and his tabernacle,
Mm-hmm.
and them that dwell in heaven.
Yeah.
And it was given unto him to make war with the saints,
Yes.
and to overcome them. And power was given him over all kindreds,
And
tongues, and
see,
nations.
this is why the Lord warned us against covetousness. Because people give it up. They giving up their soul now for little earthly possessions.
That's right.
Right? If you can't eat, the man dangle a steak in front of you. I mean, you ain't ate in 40 days. This man got a steak in front of you. He tempting you. If this thing ain't in your heart, you'll give it up for that piece of steak. It's gonna happen. Somebody's gonna do it. I just don't want it to be us. Go ahead.
And all that dwell upon the earth shall worship him,
Yeah.
whose names are not written in the book of life of the Lamb slain from the foundation of the world.
That's key. Everybody's gonna worship him. That's a one world religion, right? Everybody worship. Everybody on one accord with this devil worship. That's one world religion. It's speaking great words against the Most High. It's antichrist. It's against the Lord. So that's why it's gonna be a trouble for Jacob. Because Jacob ain't going for. He ain't following. We rather die. Jacob rather die than to give in. Right? So that's why Jacob's gonna be in trouble like he is. But go ahead.
If any man have an ear, let him hear.
Okay, let me drop down a bit. Verse 11, go ahead.
And I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had two horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon.
That's right.
And he
That's deception. The lamb is Christ. He had two horns like a lamb, but he spake as what?
a dragon.
The dragon is Satan. We know that. Satan speaks great words against God. He deceived. Right, go ahead.
And he exerciseth all the power of the first beast before him,
Yes.
and causeth the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed.
What else?
And he doeth great wonders,
Yeah.
so that he maketh fire come down from heaven on the earth.
This is how he deceiving a lot of people. Remember, signs and wonders and miracles, right? If you don't know God at this point, you're going to go for it. Man make fire come down? Got to be God. The Lord is warning us. He's going to do these things. Go ahead.
Down from heaven on the earth in the sight of
The
men,
man going to see it. Go ahead.
and deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast.
Yeah.
Saying,
This is why the Lord tell you the commandments is even above the signs and wonders. He said if a prophet arise and he doing signs and wonders, but he ain't doing the commandments, don't be deceived. The commandments are over that sign. That's Deuteronomy 13. The commandments are over those signs and wonders. Obedience to the commandment is what's going to keep you from being deceived.
right?
Even though he put forth signs and wonders and miracles. Because we know man go after what we see. You see, we ain't never seen a man make fire come down from heaven. What man have we saw do that? Never. So you're the first one doing it. You must be the one. Man ain't gonna go for it if you don't know the Lord. We worship on Sunday, but we going for it. The Christian Sabbath is Sunday. It's our mark of authority. What the Catholic Church tell you. We the ones changed the Sabbath. They ain't bashful about it either. They want you to know. That's great words being spoken against God. But if you don't know them, it's easy to be deceived by these signs and these wonders. Go ahead.
Saying to them that dwell on the earth,
What?
that they should make an image to the beast,
Against the commandments again. No graven images, right? Go ahead.
which had the wound by a sword and did
So
live.
not only you making the image, you making this image to the beast. He said, which they had been wounded by a sword, but now he lived. Go ahead.
And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast.
Another miracle and wonder. Go ahead.
That the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed.
Just Jacob. You're going to be killed. Keeping the commandments, you ain't going to do. You ain't going to indulge in that idolatry. Just like the 3 Hebrew boys. They made, Nebuchadnezzar made that image. He said, I want everybody to fall down and worship it. And if you don't, once you hear this music, you fall down and worship. And if you don't, you'll be thrown in this fiery furnace. See, the Lord gave us that so we can go back. Because that type of thing is on the horizon again. But the world don't believe. But he gave it to the ones that will believe as an example. Right? So keep rolling.
And he causes all, both small and great, rich and poor.
No matter how much money you got. Bill Gates. Huh?
Mm-hmm.
All the other people with money. All the people without money. No matter. Go ahead.
Free and bond
Mm-hmm.
to receive a mark in their right hand or in their forehead.
Man, you in jail. You in prison. You got to get this mark to get your commissary.
Mm.
It's going to be rough. Free and bond. Small and great. That's the whole world. Go ahead.
And that no man might buy or sell.
This is where we're going to be hit at. This is where your faith going to really kick in and get turned up. Because you're going to really have to rely on the Lord to eat. We say it. The Lord is my provider. The Lord is my way maker. Well, but is it just words? Because this is the time of show and prove. We'll be at the Lord is testing to see if you're going to keep his commandments or no. And no marvel. He tests all his people. From Abraham on down. He tests Abraham with his son. He want to know what's in your heart. You say it, but he want to know. Prove it. Go ahead.
Save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his
So
name.
these are the only ones that will be able to eat, buy, sell, and trade. The ones that receive the mark of the beast, the number of his name. All right, go ahead.
Here is wisdom.
What is?
Let him that have understanding count the numbers of the beast.
So the Lord is telling you, if you can catch it, you can see where this man gonna be coming from.
Mm-hmm.
So you can be even more assured, once you see this man not to give in to the deception. You can count the number of his name, his mark. Go ahead.
For it is the number of a man,
Like what?
and his number is 600, 666.
666. All right. We know where it's coming from. The Vatican, the Pope. He got it on his crown unto this day. 666. Vicarious filii, replacement of the Son of God. Replacement of Christ. He wants you to know. But this is where it's going to come from. Go on to the 14th chapter because we need to see what's up. If we take that mark, pick me up at verse 8. Hearken to the scripture. So he going to rule, but it's going to be short-lived. 3.5 years, if we can endure, we'll be good. You take that mark, this is our reward. Go ahead.
And there followed another angel saying, Babylon is fallen, is fallen,
Yes.
the great city,
Which did what?
because she made all nations drink of the wine of the wrath of her fornication.
It's over with. Go ahead.
And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice,
Mm-hmm.
If any man worship the beast and his image,
Don't follow it because don't follow that. It's over with for that system. Lord, turn it down. It's falling. It's falling. He said, but if any man worship the beast and his image,
and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand,
what's going to happen?
the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of God, which is poured out without mixture into a cup of indignation.
See, he's pouring out wrath right now, too. But it's mixed with mercy. Because even when he destroys, he don't destroy everything. Even though he could, he don't. So he's mixing a little mercy with his wrath right now. But at this time, ain't going to be no mercy in me. It's straight wrath. Right? It's the wrath of God. What it look like?
And he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone.
So this is the reward for accepting that mark. Not enduring to the end. Loving your life. Right? Go ahead.
In the presence of the holy angels
Mm-hmm.
and in the presence of the Lord, or the Lamb.
He said, you're going to be in torment. You're going to be tormented with fire, brimstone, in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. All right, go ahead.
And the smoke of their torment ascendeth up forever and ever.
Mm-hmm.
And they have no rest day or night.
No rest. Imagine that. We get tired now after 2 hours. Just imagine no rest, day or night, constant torment, torture. Huh? That's going to be the norm. No relief? That's crazy. But that's the reward of the wicked. Go ahead.
Who worship the beast and his image.
See, you worship the beast and his image, that's what you're going to get. That's what you got to look forward to. After you finish your little feasting and eating and buying and selling for that 3.5 years, man, wrath coming down. That time going to go by so fast, you're going to feel like you got cheated. All right, go ahead.
It's whosoever receiveth the mark of his name, here is the patience of the saints.
No, that's good. That's good. That's all I need. But there's no rest there now. It's torment. This is the reward for whoever receives the mark of the beast. So you got to realize God will provide. Even in the midst of the famine. Because like we read in Revelation 6, He going to get a lot of us with this famine. Your stomach going to become your God. Don't the Bible say that? Giving it up. Don't let the covenants take you away. Look, matter of fact, hit me in Hebrews 13:5 before we move on to these examples. Hebrews 13. Hebrews 13:5. Hearken to the scripture.
Let your conversation be without covetousness.
Because that's what people go after. Covetousness all the time. Want and gain and lust after earthly possessions and mammon. That's it. That's what you base your whole life around. And the Lord is warning you against that, because there's gonna come a point in time where you might just have just enough to survive. And if you're not used to that, you're going to be a good candidate to take that mark. And once you take that mark, it's destruction to you. Go ahead.
And be content with such things as you have.
That's right. Whatever the Lord bless you with, be content with it. You understand? And then if He see fit, He'll bless you with more. But not if you weren't grateful. You know, every blessing the Lord give you, it ain't good enough. Right? No, that's how we are. That's how the flesh is. More, more, more. Right? Break commandments to get more, more, more. Alright? Go ahead.
For He has said, I will never leave thee nor forsake thee.
You got to remember that. You got to know that. Even in that time where you're going to seem forsaken. He said, you got to know. The Lord said, I never. What's never? Maybe, might, a little while. No, I won't. At no time. Never leave you. Go ahead.
So that we may boldly say, the Lord is my helper, and I will not fear what man shall do unto me.
See, that's why, look, if you trust Him, the Lord is telling you. He giving you confidence in Him. He said, I told you I'd never leave you. The reason why I told you that, the reason why I'm going to be with you to the end is so you can boldly say, what?
The Lord is my helper.
So you are basically, you just ain't got to say it just to be saying it. Or you ain't got to say it just because it sounds Christian. Right? It's gonna be some action behind it. And you can boldly say, you can say it with confidence, that the Lord is my helper. Go ahead.
And I will not fear what man shall do unto me.
Yeah, you got to know it. So He said, I'd never leave you, so you can know that. I will not fear what man can do to me. Perilous times is on the rise. Not worse days are almost upon us, right? But you got to know that the Lord will be with you in those times, so that you can boldly say, "The Lord is my helper." I know you come through with that mark of the beast, but I ain't taking that. I rely on the Lord to eat, and the Lord has been giving us examples all over the Bible, different people, right? Who He sustained without money. Right? You don't have to take from Satan what you can get from God. You just got to keep the command. You got to do your part so that He can be with you. Let's get some examples. Now I got about 6 examples. Let's go to in fact, let's start at 1 Kings 17. Just to show you, because the man is going to bring that famine just to show you that the Lord can sustain you in a famine. It's a famine for the world, but it ain't a famine to the Lord's servant. 1 Kings 17, we'll start at verse 1. 1 Kings 17 and 1. Hearken to the scripture.
And Elijah the Tishbite, who was of the inhabitants of Gilead, said unto Ahab,
What happened?
as the Lord God of Israel liveth,
Uh-huh.
before whom I stand,
What you talking about?
there shall not be dew nor rain these years,
Uh-huh.
but according to my word.
So Elijah the Tishbite, you know, the prophet of the Lord, he telling Ahab the king, like, look, it's been so wicked in Israel, there's not going to be any rain these years, right, according to the word of the Lord, right? So if you don't have rain, your crops can't grow, it's going to be no food, eventually it's going to be a scarcity or a famine. But go ahead.
And the word of the Lord came unto him, saying,
What?
Get thee hence, and turn thee eastward, and hide thyself by the brook of Cherith that is before Jordan.
So the Lord is instructing the prophet on where to go. It's a famine in the land, but yet and still the Lord is giving him instructions on a place to go so that he can sustain them during this time of famine. Right? So he got to rely on the Lord to eat. Ain't no food otherwise. Let's see how the Lord get down. Go ahead.
And it shall be
What?
that thou shalt drink of the brook, and I have commanded the ravens to feed thee there.
What language he spoke to him? Whatever language they understood. He commanded the ravens. Look at how the Lord is feeding the prophet. It's a famine. Right? He commanded the ravens to bring them food. He let them drink from the brook. If the water was dirty, he told them to drink. It still ain't going to hurt them. The Lord is sustaining the man. Go ahead.
So he went and did according unto the word of the Lord.
Yes.
For he went and dwelt by the brook Cherith.
So he believed, he did it. He went and dwelt by the brook Cherith. Go ahead.
That is before Jordan.
And what happened?
And the ravens brought him bread and flesh in the morning,
And
bread and flesh in the evening,
what else?
and drank of the brook.
It's a famine now, but the prophet is eating. It's a famine to everybody else. He being sustained by God. How much is this costing God? How much is he paying the Lord? Ain't no money involved. That's why I told you, riches can't profit you in a day of wrath. You need to know that. He said the commandments are more to be desired than gold. This is your ticket to having a relationship with God. It's your ticket for him hearing and delivering you. Go ahead and read.
And it came to pass after a while
What happened?
that the brook dried up.
Uh-oh, he's going to die now. Ain't no more water in the brook where the Lord told him to go. What happened?
Because there had been no rain in the land.
Exactly. Ain't no rain, the brook done dried up. What happened?
And the word of the Lord came unto him, saying, Arise, get thee to Zarephath, which belongeth to Zidon, and dwell there. Behold, I've commanded a widow woman there to sustain thee.
Okay, so now the Lord, how he blessed him, right? It looked like the blessing closed on one end, but once it did, he opened the door, made a way on another end. The blessing of the Lord all the way around. For righteous. He said, you go or you get there to Zarephath. He said, I say, I've commanded a widow woman. Now, this widow woman have no clue. All right? But the Lord already told her, I commanded her already to sustain you. Well, let's go and see how that happened. Keep rolling.
So he arose and went to Zarephath. And when he came to the gate of the city, behold, the widow woman was there gathering of sticks. And he called to her and said,
What happened?
Fetch me, I pray thee, a little water in a vessel that I may drink.
Yes.
And as she was going to fetch it, he called it to her and said, Bring me, I pray thee, a morsel of bread in thine hand. And she said, As the Lord thy God liveth,
What happened?
I have not a cake, but a handful of meal in a barrel,
Yes.
and a little oil in a cruse.
Mm-hmm.
And behold, I am gathering 2 sticks that I may go in and dress it for me and my son, that we may eat it and die.
Because the famine is so rough or grievous at this point. She down to her last. Like, this all I got. A little oil in a cruse, and a handful of meal. I'm just going to gather these sticks so I can dress this thing so me and my son can have our last meal. Afterwards we die.
Mhm.
Go ahead.
And Elijah said unto her, Fear not, go and do as thou hast said, but make me thereof a little cake first, and bring it unto me, and after make for thee and for thy son.
So God saying, don't fear. Look, don't fear. Go and make me a cake first, and afterwards make one for you and your son, and y'all gonna live. Go ahead.
For thus saith the Lord God of Israel,
What?
The barrel of meal shall not waste,
And?
neither shall the cruse of oil fail,
Until when?
the day that the Lord sendeth rain upon the earth.
So you got to know that. If you get caught in 3.5 years of tribulation, the Lord sustaining you, it ain't going to end until the days are up. See, the brook dried up. It looked like it was over with for Elijah. But the Lord told him, you go and you get down there to this widow woman. I command her to sustain you there. So I open up another door for you. All right? And this happened for a good minute. Go ahead.
And she went and did according to the saying of Elijah. And she and he and her house did eat many days.
So he relying on the Lord to eat. He ain't relying on nobody else. Right? He being obedient. He doing what thus said the Lord, and the Lord is sustaining him. Not only him, he done blessed the widow woman too.
That's right.
This widow woman believed just the words that Elijah said. She's going to be a testimony against Israel. The Lord already told us in the gospel. He said there was many widows in the days of Elijah. But he sent him to her. She wasn't even an Israelite. She's going to be a witness. Because she believed on God just by the word that was spoken to her. God's word. Israel needs signs and wonders and miracles. But guess what? The beast is going to provide them. Go ahead and read.
And the barrel of meal wasted not, neither did the cruse of oil fail, according to the word of the Lord which he spake by Elijah.
The Lord took care of him. All right, I'm not going to read the rest. You can read the rest of y'all. I got too many examples. Back me up at 2 Kings, the 4th chapter. Let me go forward to 2 Kings, the 4th chapter, and then we do 2 Kings 6 and 7. All right? So you don't have to give it up. You just have to put out, that's what the Bible says, put your trust in the Lord always. Better it is to put your trust in God than it is to put your trust in man or princes. 2 Kings 4, verse 38. 2 Kings 4, verse 38. Hearken to the scripture.
And Elisha came again to Gilgal, and there was a dearth in the land.
Another famine. It told us every time, right? This is Elisha the prophet, not Elijah. This is Elisha the prophet. He came to work, Gilgal, and another dearth in the land. Go ahead.
And the sons of the prophets were sitting before him.
Yes.
And he said unto his servants, Set on the great pot, and see it pottage for the sons of the prophets.
That's right. So you got the sons of the prophets sitting before Elisha. And it's a famine in the land now. He said a great pot, and he put pottage in the pot. Go ahead.
And one went out into the field to gather herbs, and found a wild vine.
And what happened?
And gathered there of wild gourds his lap full, and came and shred them into the pot of pottage, for they knew them not.
Right.
So they poured out for the men to eat. And it came to pass, as they were eating of the pottage, that they cried out and said, O thou man of God, there is death in thy pot.
There's death in the pot. That means there's poison. Now they already in the midst of a famine. Food is scarce. They're like, oh man of God. They're crying out to the man of God. They're like, man, there's death in this pot. It's poison. What you want us to do? Go ahead.
And they could not eat thereof.
Go ahead.
But he said,
yes.
Then bring meal. And he cast it into the pot. And he said, Pour out for thy people, that they may eat. And there was no harm in the pot.
Go ahead.
And there came a man from Baal Shalisha, and brought the man of God's bread, the first fruits, 20 loaves of barley.
This man just come from Baal, what he said, and brought first fruits and 20 loaves of barley. So he bringing more food, right? Out of nowhere, it seems. Go ahead.
And full ears of corn in the husk thereof.
Yes.
And he said, Give unto the people that they may eat.
Yeah,
And his servitor said, what should I set this before 100 men?
So evidently it wasn't enough to feed this amount of people. He said, the servant like, what you want me to set this before 100 men? Go ahead.
He said again, give the people that they may eat.
Yes.
For thus saith the Lord, they shall eat and shall leave thereof.
See? Who said that? The Lord. See, it looked like it wasn't enough for this amount of people. But the Lord, like, give it to them to eat. He's sustaining them. It's a famine. He even sent the man to bring this extra little food. He said, give it to them to eat. Not only are they going to eat, they're going to have leftovers. Right, go ahead.
So he said it before them.
And what happened?
And they did eat and left thereof according to the word of the Lord.
According to the word of... So the Lord don't need money. He got resources upon resources. He can sustain. You just got to have what it takes. You got to have faith in the relationship, the obedience. He said he won't suffer the righteous to hunger. He won't withhold the good from the upright. So even in them terrible times, he can sustain. The man is going to create a famine. And if we ain't tight with the Lord, people going to be giving it up, I'm telling you. Because it's going to be real life. It ain't going to be no pages or the Bible turning. You know, it's going to be up on you. You going to have to deal with this. Yes, in the flesh. And it's only so long how we are now. It's only so long we can go home. Go a week. Watch how you be feeling in a week. You're going to be on edge. You're going to be ready to quit. You're going to say, if this ain't in, you're going to be like the slick ones. Yeah, I can get this and still serve God. He's still letting me make it. And then I'm just going to take this mark so I can help out God's people. Nah, you taking that mark because you're hungry. And you don't have no faith in the Lord. Huh?
That's right. You
ain't relying on God, then you relying on yourself and your flesh and that beast. But pick me up at 2 Kings 6, verse 24. This is a famine. This is how grievous it can look. 2 Kings 6, verse 24. Go ahead.
And it came to pass after this, that Ben-Hadad, king of Syria, gathered all his hosts and went up and besieged Samaria.
Samaria is Israel, right? So you got the Syrian king Ben-Hadad. He went up and he besieged Samaria. And what happened?
And there was a great famine in Samaria.
Great famine in Samaria. Go ahead.
And behold, they besieged it until an ass's head was sold for 80 pieces of silver.
Look, listen. This famine so sore, they besieged the city. They all around the city, right? Evidently ain't no food coming in or out. The people in there done sold a donkey's head. Huh? We ain't supposed to eat that. This is how grievous the famine is. They eat anything. They have sold a donkey's head for 80 pieces of silver, just the head. 80 pieces of silver, 80. That's 80. It's a grievous famine. People are down to the last. There's no food. Panic is set in. They beating over this most likely. He said it went for 80 pieces of silver, donkey's head. Go ahead and read.
And the fourth part of a cab of doves dung for 5 pieces of silver.
So you know what dung is, right? Huh? That's waste. Bile. The dove's boo-boo. They selling it. Tell me this ain't terrible time. You can't even imagine this. Eating dove's dung and paying for it. It can't be no food down there. This is the extreme. See, we can't even imagine nothing like this. But the people serving God, they kind of giving it up a little bit though. They eat unclean food, whatever it is they can get their hands on. They digesting just to sustain themselves for a minute. So I know in a famine that we ain't never seen, we definitely in trouble. And if you don't have faith, you ain't been fasting here and there, you ain't gonna be used to It's a good chance. You need medicine. I can't get no medicine. Doctor said I got to have this medicine or else. Huh? Ain't no medicine in the family. You remember, you can't buy, if you got money, you can't buy your medicine unless you take this mark. That's dangerous. But like the Lord say, the herbs is for the healing of the nations. You can't rely on that medicine. We need to be trying to figure out everything we can and come up off of it as much as we can. Can't rely on it. What verse?
26.
Yes, sir.
And as the king of Israel was passing by upon the wall, there cried a woman unto him, saying, Help my lord, O king.
So you got the king of Israel, he passing through the city, seeing the condition of the people, and the woman cried out to him, talking about help. Go ahead.
And he said, If the Lord do not help thee.
Oh my goodness. King got a little sense, right? He said, if the Lord don't help you, what?
When shall I help thee?
How can I help you? I'm just the king, the prince. Oh, our Lord said it's better to put confidence in him than in princes, in man. He the king, and he can't even help. So he said, if the Lord don't, and that's how it is. That's how it's going to be during those times. You're going to have to rely on God. Go ahead. He said, if the Lord don't help you, how can I help you? Go ahead.
Out of the barn floor or out of the wine press?
Mm-hmm.
And the king said unto her,
Yeah.
What aileth thee?
He said, oh yeah, so what's really your problem, right? Go ahead.
And she answered,
Uh-huh.
This woman said unto me,
Yes.
Give thy son that we may eat him today, and we will eat my son tomorrow.
So you telling me this ain't no family?
Man.
You telling me this ain't grievous? Your kids are your pride and joy. They done made two women done came up with this little old agreement. The famine is so bad. They done agreed with each other. You give me your son to eat today, we'll eat it today, and I'll give you my son and we'll eat it tomorrow. Huh? That's how grievous the family is. This human survival tactics. They're doing all they know. Eating people. Dove's dung. Donkey's head. Like, it's not good. It's terrible. All right, go ahead.
So we boiled my son and did eat him. And I said to her on the next day, Give thy son that we may eat him. And she had hid her son.
Israel. He's just like an Israelite. Give me your son. Okay, cool. You gave it to me. We cooked it, smoked it, we ate it, right? Boiled it. Huh? We got food. We sustained until the next day. Now it's time for you to pay up. You can't be found. Nor you owe. Huh? Pay up. That's why the Lord say the wicked don't pay back. Pay up. Keep your word. Right? Your word is supposed to be your word. I came through. That's why if the Lord don't help you, how can I? Go ahead.
And it came to pass when the king heard these words of the woman that he rent his clothes, and he passed by upon the wall, and the people looked, and behold, he had sackcloth upon his flesh.
King, that's all he could do. Mourn and fast, but they already don't have no food. He can't help them. Everybody said, if the Lord don't help you, how can I? And that's the mindset we have to have. Ain't no man gonna help us during this time. If God don't do the helping, ain't no hope, basically. Let's go into the 7th chapter, picking up at verse 1. But God got away. You see how grievous the famine was, right? We just all saw it, right? Now watch the Lord. Watch him be God. Verse 1. Go ahead and read.
Then Elisha said, Hear ye the word of the Lord. Thus saith the Lord, Tomorrow about this time shall a measure of fine flour be sold for a shekel, and 2 measures of barley for a shekel.
So I wonder how, because ain't no food coming in and out. The king Benhadad of Syria done surrounded the city. So the Syrians are surrounding the city. But look what God said. He surrounded Samaria. But Elisha, the prophet, man of God, already spoke this. He said, about this time shall a measure of fine flour be sold for a shekel of a shekel, and 2 measures of barley for a shekel in the gate of Samaria. Now remember, they was paying 80 shekels for the head of a donkey, and they was paying 5 shekels for cow dung. And the Lord going to put the things back in a right order. Right? A shekel for fine flour, 2 measures of barley for a shekel. So he sustaining it, putting it back correct. Right? Ain't no more hyperinflation, pretty much. Let me get some words you can understand. Ain't no more inflation right there, like that. Right? Go ahead.
Then a Lord on whose hand the king leaned answered the man of God and said, Behold, if the Lord would make windows in heaven, might this thing be?
So what that mean? Windows of heaven, what is he asking for? What is he saying the Lord gonna do? Make it rain. Yeah. Go ahead.
And he said, Behold, thou shalt see it with thine eyes.
Say you gonna see it with your own eyes. I ain't gotta tell you. This is what the king is the prophet is telling the king. Go ahead.
But thou shalt not eat thereof.
He said, but you ain't gonna eat thereof. Talking to the king. Go ahead.
And there were 4 leprous men at the entering in of the gate. And they said one to another, Why sit we here until we die?
So they conversing with each other, 4 lepers, right? They're on the outside of the gate. They said, why are we sitting here? We're gonna die. There ain't no food, right? Go ahead.
If we say we will enter into the city, then the famine is in the city.
That's right. So if we go into the famine, it's pointless. Famine is already in the city. Go ahead.
And we shall die there.
And we're going to die there. Well, we're going to die. If we stay here, we're going to die. We're going to the city. Go ahead.
And if we sit still here, we die also.
Mm-hmm.
Now therefore come, let us fall unto the host of the Syrians.
Because the Syrians is the one that's besieging the city. He said, let's go basically give ourselves to them. Go ahead.
If they save us alive, we shall live.
So if they don't kill us, we'll live, right? Because if they take them prisoners of war, they'll feed them. Go ahead.
But if they kill us, we shall but die.
But we're going to die either way it goes.
Mm-hmm.
Just by sitting here idle, we're going to die. Going back into the city, we're going to die. So this is the best chance we have. Go ahead.
And we rose up in the twilight to go into the camp of the Syrians.
Yes.
And when they were come to the uttermost part of the camp of Syria, behold, there was no man there.
So they went into the camp of the Syrians, but it ain't a Syrian in the camp. Go ahead.
For the Lord had made the host of the Syrians to hear a noise of chariots.
Look how God worked.
Oh.
The Lord had made the Syrians hear the noise of a chariot. That's war. Go ahead.
And a noise of horses.
Yes.
Even the noise of a great host.
Yes.
And they said unto another, Lo, the king of Israel hath hired against us the kings of the Hittites.
This is what the kings, the Syrians thought. They thought Israel had hired the Hittites and the Egyptians go against them. That's what they thought once they heard that noise of that chariot. But the Lord had made that noise, right? Mm-hmm. So they say, the king of Israel done hired the Hittites against us. Go ahead.
And the kings of the Egyptians to come upon us.
Yes.
Wherefore they arose and fled into the twilight.
So they ran. Let's get out of here, man. We can't take down both of them. So they fled. Go ahead.
And they left the tents.
And they left their tents.
And the horses.
And they left the horses.
And the asses.
And the asses.
Even the camp as it was.
They done left the whole camp as everything in place. Go ahead.
And fled for their life.
Yeah.
And when these lepers came to the uttermost part of the camp.
So remember, they had already congregated, communed amongst each other, saying, we're going to go give ourselves to the Syrians. They might save us alive. All right, so they on their journey, and the Lord had that to happen already. So now once they got to the camp of the Syrians, what happened?
They went into one tent and did eat and drink.
Because nobody was there. So they went in, and they left the whole city like it was. So they went into the camp of the city, one tent, and they ate and they drank. The food was everywhere. All right, go ahead.
And carried the silver and gold and raiment, and went out and hid it, and came again and entered into another tent, and carried thence also, and went and hid it.
So they getting rich. All right, they going and they getting what they need, and they going and hiding it. Go ahead.
Then they said one to another,
what they say?
We do not well.
Hey, this ain't good what we do. Go ahead.
This day is a day of good tidings.
This is their good tidings, and
we hold our peace.
And we ain't even told nobody. We got brothers and sisters back there starving and eating manure and donkey head and men, right? They eating flesh, human flesh, and we ain't even said nothing about this. Go ahead.
If we tarry till the morning light, some mischief will come upon
They
us.
know the Lord gonna send that mischief. They got a little bit of sense. They like, this ain't good what we do. He said, there's plenty of stuff here and we ain't even told nobody. Right? He said, if we do this all the way into the morning, mischief is gonna fall upon us. Go ahead.
Now therefore come, that we may go and tell the king's household.
Yes.
So they came and called unto the porter of the city.
Right, that's the one who opened the doors. All right, go ahead.
And they told them, saying, we came to the camp of the Syrians, and behold, there was no man there, neither voice of man,
yes,
but horses tied and asses tied in his tents as they were.
Go ahead.
And he called the porters, and they told it to the king's house within.
Yes.
And the king arose in the night and said unto his servants, I will now show you what the Syrians have done to us.
Go ahead.
They know that we be hungry. Therefore are they gone out of the camp to hide themselves in the field, saying, when they come out of the city, we shall catch them alive and get into the city.
That's what the king thought.
Man.
Right? Non-believer. Go ahead.
And one of his servants answered and said, let some take, I pray thee, 5 of the horses that remain, which are left in the city. Behold, they are as all the multitude of Israel that are left in it. Behold, I say, they are even as all the multitude of the Israelites that are consumed. And let us sin and see.
Go ahead.
They took therefore 2 chariot horses, and the king sent after the host of the Syrians, saying, go and see.
Yep.
And they went after them unto Jordan, and lo, all the way was full of garments and vessels, which the Syrians had cast away in their haste. And the messengers returned and told the king.
They just dropped everything. I'm serious. Clothing and vessels while they running, right? They done dropped everything. Just took off. Go ahead.
And the people went out and spoiled the tents of Syria.
Yes.
So a measure of fine flour was sold for a shekel, and 2 measures of barley for a shekel, according to the word of the Lord.
The Lord supplied. The Lord sustained. He provided. He delivered. All right? A measure of barley for a shekel, according to the word of the Lord. Go ahead.
And the king appointed the Lord on whose hand he leaned to have the charge of the gate. And the people trod upon him in the gate, and he died.
You can't get in the way of no hungry Israelites. They done ran all over the man. Tried him underfoot. Go ahead.
As the man of God had said, who spake when the king came down to him.
Yes.
And it came to pass, as the man of God had spoken to the king, saying, 2 measures of barley for a shekel, and a measure of fine flour for a shekel, shall be tomorrow about this time in the gate of Samaria. And that Lord answered the man of God and said, now behold, if the Lord should make windows in heaven, might such a thing be? And he said, behold, thou shalt see it with thine eyes, but thou shalt not eat thereof.
That's why I remember telling them that previously in the chapter. Said, you'll see it with your eyes, but you're not going to eat thereof. Go ahead.
And so it fell out unto him.
What?
For the people trod upon him in the gate, and he died.
But the Lord sustained him. He gave him the spoils of the sea. He made a way. It wasn't no way for them. They eating their own children in his family. Whatever to survive. But yet and still, the Lord had to be the one to provide for his people. He always has done that. And just because it's the end of the world and it will be upon us, that don't mean he won't do this, because the Lord tell you he don't change. Right? So you reading all this stuff and you seeing the Lord provide, then when it comes to the end, we're going to skip all that.
Right.
No, he don't do that. He stay the same. You just got to get to the point where you can receive the benefits. From Genesis all the way down, he's done the same. He's provided. A famine is nothing to God. All right? Let's get another example. Let's go to Genesis 21, verse 10. Genesis 21, 10. Y'all better with this Bible. Man. Genesis 21, verse 10. Hearken to the scripture.
Wherefore she said unto Abraham, cast out this bondwoman and her son, for the son of this bondwoman shall not be heir with my
That's
son.
right. It's talking about Isaac, right? Sarah came to Abraham like, cast him out. He ain't gonna be heir with my son, right? Go ahead.
Even with Isaac.
Yes.
And the thing was very grievous in Abraham's sight because of his son.
This is troublesome to Abraham, right? Because that's his son. All right, I'm gonna cast out my son. Go ahead.
And God said unto Abraham,
What did he say?
let it not be grievous in thy sight because of thy
He
lad,
said, don't worry about it, Abraham. You know that don't let it be grievous because of your son. Go ahead.
and because of thy bondwoman.
And because of the bondwoman.
And all that Sarah has said unto thee, hearken unto her voice.
Listen to her voice. Why?
For in Isaac shall thy seed be called.
Oh, no mix up. No mess up. Go ahead.
And also the son of the bondwoman will I make a nation, because he is thy seed.
So the Lord is going to sustain this man evidently. All right? Because he had to cast him out. Let's see. Go ahead.
And Abraham rose up early in the morning, and took bread and a bottle of water, and gave it unto Hagar, putting it on her shoulder and the child, and sent her away. And she departed, and wandered in the wilderness of Beersheba.
Mm-hmm.
And
So
the
Abraham, he didn't sit him out. He gave him a bottle of water, not a 20 ounce, and some bread, and he sent them on their way, right? But what the Lord tells us, it's better to trust in God than man. Even though Abraham provided, that was only going to last a little bit. A bottle of water, you sending us into a desert. Like, what you think gonna happen? Right, go ahead.
And the water was spent in the bottle,
It's gone now. Go ahead.
and she cast the child under one of the shrubs.
Like, just say like a little tree or something, shade, in other words. Go ahead.
And she went and sat her down and over against him a good way off,
So she left and went off a little distance away. Go ahead.
as it were a bow shot, for she said,
What'd she say?
let me not see the death of the child. And she sat over against him and lift up her voice and wept.
Right, because the resources are gone. They're in the desert, right? They used up what they had. Said, let me not see the death of my child, but go ahead.
And God heard the voice of the lad.
Who heard what?
God heard the voice of the lad.
God heard them. Right, what happened?
And the angel of God called to Hagar out of heaven.
See, he got blessed simply because he Abraham's seed.
Yeah.
Right? Who are we? We Abraham's seed too. Right? Don't forget. Like Lord say, if you Abraham, then you Christ. Father of the faith. Alright, go ahead. So he said, the Lord heard the voice of the lad. Come on.
And the angel of God called unto Hagar out of heaven and said unto her, what aileth thee, Hagar?
Alright, what's your problem?
Fear not,
He said, don't worry, go ahead.
for God hath heard the voice of the lad where he is.
See, but that's what we gotta do, get to the point where God hear our voice.
That's right.
That's how he gonna sustain you during that 3.5 years. If you crying out and he don't hear you, it's of none effect. But if he crying out and he hear you, that's when it's deliverance. Now you don't have to turn to that beast. Now you can rely on God to eat. Go ahead.
Arise, lift up the lad and hold him in thy hand.
Yeah, he said, go get your son. Hold him in your hand. Go ahead.
For I will make him a great nation.
And
God opened her eyes, and she saw a well of water.
in the wilderness,
Come on.
in the desert, the Lord is taking care of. In the wilderness, she saw a well of water. Go ahead.
And she went and filled the bottle with water, and gave the lad drink.
And what happened?
And God was with the lad, and he grew, and dwelt in the wilderness, and became an archer.
That's good. That's good. So the Lord take care. He here. He could deliver. Way out of no way, he got that. Light work.
Cold.
Gotta have faith. You gotta get to the point where the Lord hear your cry. Judges 15. Hagar wasn't even an Israelite. Don't let nobody tell you it's just for Israel. She was an Egyptian. Judges 15. That's why the Lord tell you, not one of these gonna fail. Just seek out the book and read it, so you can. Faith come by hearing and hearing the word of God.
Mm-hmm.
This is dealing with Samson. Now let's just start at verse 1. I'm not gonna read the whole chapter because I've been gone too long. Go ahead.
But it came to pass within a while after, in the time of the wheat harvest, that Samson visited his wife with a kid, and he said, I will go into my wife into the chamber. But her father would not suffer him to go in.
Mm-hmm.
And her father said, I verily thought that thou hadst utterly hated her.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore I gave her to thy companion. Is not her younger sister fairer than she? Take her, I pray thee, instead of her.
Go ahead.
And Samson said concerning them, Now shall I be more blameless than the Philistines, though I do them a displeasure.
Yeah, well, because he let you know, I'm going to do you some hurt for this.
Mm.
I'm not going to be found guilty because you the one transgressed against me first. All right, that's what he's saying in a nutshell. So let's drop down a bit to, give me verse 6. Go ahead.
Then the Philistines said, Who had done this? And they answered, Samson, the son-in-law of the Timite.
Right, because he had burned up some of the crops and corn and vineyards and stuff. The Philistines like, who did this? They like, Samson. Go ahead.
Because he had taken his wife and given her to his companion.
So, but he didn't do it for no reason, right? This is his reason. This is why he did it. Go ahead.
And the Philistines came up and burnt her and her father with fire.
Go ahead.
And Samson said unto them, Though you have done this, yet will I be avenged of you, and after that I will cease.
He said, I'm gonna take revenge, and after that I'll die. I'm gonna cease. Go ahead.
And he smote them hip and thigh with a great slaughter, and went down and dwelt in the top of the rock of Edom. Then the Philistines went up and pitched in Judah and spread themselves in Leah.
So when he slaughtered them, he said in a great slaughter, right? And then he went down and dwelt in the top of the rock. Go ahead. And the Philistines, they pitched against Judah. Go ahead.
And the men of Judah said, Why are you come up against us? And they answered, To bind Samson are we come up, to do to him as he had done to us.
Right. So they, the brethren, they went out and got Samson, told him what was going on, and then they brought Samson to the Philistines. Let's go jump down to verse 14. Go ahead.
And when he came unto the Lehi, the Philistines shouted against him, and the Spirit of the Lord came mightily upon him. And the cords that were upon his arms became as flax that was burnt with fire, and his bands loosed from off his hands. And he found a new jawbone of an ass, and put forth his hand and took it, and slew 1,000 men therewith.
All right, he slew 1,000 of the Philistines with the jawbone of an ass, and then what?
And Samson said, With the jawbone of an ass, heaps upon heaps, with the jaw of an ass have I slain 1,000 men.
See, that's how it is when the Spirit of the Lord come upon him. The Spirit of the Lord came upon him. One man that killed 1,000. All right? He said heaps upon heaps. Man, he just was going at it. 1,000 men with the jawbone of an ass. Go ahead.
And it came to pass when he had made an end of speaking, that he cast away the jawbone out of his hand, and called that place Ramoth Lehi.
Yes.
And he was sore athirst.
Well, after that great slaughter, I'm pretty sure he was thirsty.
Right.
He said he was very thirsty. Right, go ahead.
And called upon the Lord and said.
So look what happened. He thirsty. He called upon the Lord, not man. He called upon God. Go ahead.
Thou hast given this great deliverance into the hand of thy servant.
So he acknowledging that fact that the Lord is the one who gave him that deliverance, right? Go ahead.
And now shall I die for thirst.
He said, now you done gave me this great deliverance, Lord, and now I'm out here, I'm going to die of thirst. Go ahead.
And fall into the hand of the uncircumcised.
Yes.
But God clave an hollow place that was in the jaw, and there came water throughout. And when he had drunk, his spirit came again, and he revived. Wherefore he called the name thereof in Hakkor, which is in Lehi unto this day.
God provided again. I ain't see no monetary transaction. I ain't see Samson have to take no mark or nothing. He just called upon the Lord. And the Lord heard him. The Lord provided. The Lord delivered. He can do the same thing for you.
That's right.
He can do the same thing for you. Let's go, give me Psalms, the 78th chapter. Verse 15. He always has been delivering. Psalm 78, verse 15. When he took Israel out of Egypt, he brought them into a desert, a wilderness. Ain't no food in the wilderness. No water in the desert. He brought them out there because he wants you to realize, he wants you to rely on me. Man don't live by just bread only.
Right.
That's nothing for me, giving you the bread, but you're going to live by every word of God. That's why I brought you to this wilderness. I can give you bread at any point in time. I can give you water whenever. But you have to live by the word in order to be a beneficiary. All right? Verse, and that's what we need to get throughout all these distractions in life, throughout all these ups and downs. You need to realize that you need to serve God because it's more beneficial than gold and silver. That needs to be secondary. The Lord will add that, he said, you seek the kingdom first. Because it's going to come a point when that money is going to have no effect. Mm-hmm. Isaiah 24 tell you that. So is the borrower, so is the lender. So is the servant, so is the master. Everybody in the same condition. Now what? How you going to live? Verse 15, go ahead.
He clave the rocks in the wilderness.
That's what the Lord did. For what? And what happened?
And gave them drink as out of the great depths.
In the midst of a wilderness, clave rocks, gave the people water, gave them drink, provided. Go ahead.
He brought streams also out of the rock.
He brought streams out of the rock to feed them people. Go ahead.
And caused waters to run down like rivers.
Yes.
And they sinned yet more against him by provoking the Most High in the wilderness.
But that still wasn't enough. He said they sinned yet the more. They provoked him in the wilderness. Go ahead.
And they tempted God in their heart by asking meat for their lust.
Go ahead.
Yeah, they spake against God. They said, can God furnish a table in the wilderness?
That's what you need to know, baby. Furnish it. It's just the whole earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof. He just gave them water in a desert place. They in the same desert place. They're like, okay, he gave us water, but can he give us something to eat too? Right. Can he? I mean, you done saw all the miracle signs and wonders he did just in bringing you out of Egypt to get you to this point. And now you still doubt. You still provoking God. You still sinning against him. Are you still tempting him in your mind? You asking for these things not because you hungry, but you asking for it out of your lust.
Right.
Can God provide? So you trying to tempt the Lord to get him to provide. Lord, prove yourself to me type thing. Go ahead.
Behold, he spoke the rock, that the waters gushed out, and the streams overflowed. Can he give bread also?
Look at that. And I saw he did that, but can he give us bread too? Go ahead.
Can he provide flesh for his people?
Can he give us meat for his people? Go ahead.
Therefore the Lord heard this.
See, this is the Lord is angry with this. But he's showing you don't know me. You my people, you should know that I can do it. Not can I. Go ahead.
Therefore the Lord heard this and was wroth. So a fire was kindled against Jacob. And anger also came up against Israel.
Yep.
Because they believed not in God and trusted not in his salvation.
His deliverance. They didn't trust. So it come time for you to take that mark of trust in God. You don't believe, you're not going to trust him. And you're going to be tested. You're going to have to prove it. Go ahead.
Though he commanded the clouds from above and opened the doors of heaven and had rained down manna upon them to eat.
That's bread. He fed them from heaven. Go ahead. Look what type of food they ate.
And had given them of the corn of heaven. Man did eat angels' food, he sent them meat to the full.
And still wasn't satisfied. So he gave them bread in a desert place, rained it down from heaven. He sent the ravens to Elijah to feed him with flesh. Right? So he used the earth. He know where everything is. He know how to get it to you. All you gotta do is believe.
That's right.
And obey. He said, man ate the angels' food, and it still wasn't good enough. Go ahead.
He caused an east wind to blow into the heaven.
Yes.
And by his power he brought in the south wind.
And
He rained flesh also upon them as dust, and feathered fowls like as the sand of the sea. And he let it fall in the midst of their camp round about their habitation.
I mean, he dropped it right there where they was. In the midst of the camp. They had to run out searching and looking.
Right.
Easy access. Here it is. Go ahead.
So they did eat and were filled, for he gave them their own desire.
Because that's what they was lusting after, right? So this other place he tell you, give you over to your own desire. But look what they look like. Go ahead.
They were not estranged from their lust, but while their meat was yet in their mouths, the wrath of God came upon them, and slew the fattest of them, and smote down the chosen men of Israel.
Man. Why tell you be content? We have food and raiment, therewith be content. And that's all you need to be sustained during this tribulation period. Be happy that the Lord let you see another day. Go ahead.
For all this they sinned still, and believed not for his wondrous works. Therefore their days
That's good. No matter what he did, it wasn't good enough.
That's right.
40 years of provoking. 40 years of tempting. 40 years of sinning. 40 years of disbelief. That's why they failed in the wilderness. Provoking the Lord more and more. It said, for all this, they sinned, and they still didn't believe God. None of his wonders. They didn't believe. So if it comes time for you and you don't believe, if you got examples, you're going to give it up. Right? Let's go again to Luke the 9th chapter. So I know we've been dealing with all Old Testament, but like I said, God, he made a way throughout the book. Throughout all times. Right? Time don't have no effect on him. Like he gonna stop blessing in a certain point of time. So that's how we think. Them was Bible days. He ain't moving like that no more. All the days are Bible days. The end is from the beginning. How can it not be? Right?
That's right. We
think we knew. Luke 9th chapter, verse 12. That was in the wilderness. Watch what happened. 9 and 12. Hearken to the scripture.
And when the day began to wear away, then came the 12 and said unto him,
said unto Jesus,
send the multitude away.
Because there was a crowd following. A multitude of people. They're like, send them away. Go ahead.
That they may go into the towns of the country around about and lodge and get victuals.
Get food and lodge. What happened?
For we are here in a desert place.
We in a desert, man. Let's send them away. So they can go and get food and they can lodge or rest. Right? We're in the wilderness. We're in the desert. Go ahead.
But he said unto them.
Now they in the desert. Look what he said. What? To his disciples. Go ahead.
Give you them to eat.
Now you give them something to eat. What? We in the desert. Go ahead.
And they said, we have no more but 5 loaves and 2 fishes.
Yeah, man, look, Lord, we only got 5 loaves, 2 fishes. And we in the wilderness. Go ahead.
Except we should go and buy meat for all these people.
He said, the only way we can get more is we go and we buy it. Go ahead.
For there were about 5,000 men.
There's 5,000 of them. Go ahead.
And he said to his disciples.
And you know 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish ain't going to feed no 5,000. So we need to go buy some more. That's the only way we're going to get it. We're in the wilderness. Go ahead.
Make them sit down in 50s in a company.
So he told his disciples, he said, you make them sit down in sets of 50. All right, go ahead.
And they did so, and made them all sit down.
And what happened?
Then he took the 5 loaves and the 2 fishes, and looking up to heaven, he blessed them, and brake, and gave to the disciples to set before the multitude.
Mm-hmm.
And they did eat,
Mm-hmm.
and were all filled. And there was taken up the fragments that remained to them 12 baskets.
And they had leftovers. He told his disciples to do that. Disciples mean what? Followers. He gave them power. We got 5 loaves and 2 fish. He told them, you give them something to eat. Isn't that what he said? You feed them.
Mm-hmm.
He made them all sit down in companies of 50. And he took the bread and he took the fish and he looked up to heaven and he blessed it. All right, once he blessed it, it was enough to feed 5,000 plus. And they had leftovers.
Mm-hmm.
This is important for you. Why? Just in case you got a company with you while you on the run, while you in hiding.
Come on.
You call yourself a follower of God, you looking up, he should be able to deliver you just as at this time. He can turn a penny to a 20. Huh? I'm just saying. That's what he did right here. But he told his disciples to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So if you don't have faith though, you ain't gonna be able to do this.
That's right.
You'll be that one if you really righteous a little bit more than the rest. Y'all go on and eat it. I'll do without. Just bless it. I'm just saying, bless it. Everybody might can eat. Right? We need to know God like this. Huh? Because you might be the one. Because remember, what did he say? The righteous, they going to do exploits. Huh? He said they going to instruct many. Right? And he going to have to feed you. He been using some men. Sometimes when he was delivering, he used a woman, right, for Elisha. He said, when it was the sons of the prophet, he sent another man with the first fruits and bread and stuff, huh? Mm-hmm. So it might have to be you, but if you don't have faith, there's no way you'll pull this off. You won't even think to do, you won't even have enough confidence in God to do something like this. Bless it. We trying to eat, survive these 3.5 years. We all can't take the mark. The Lord ain't just going to provide for you and not for the ones that's with you, because all these people didn't believe.
Right.
Yet still he failed. Alright? We got to understand who we're dealing with. It's more than just about us. That's why some of us got to be martyrs. There's some people he's going to bring through that time. And we're going to have to be the ones that teach them, some of us. And it's going to be involved more than teaching. It's survival at that time. So you're going to have to know God. You could be able to do something like this. But if you don't know, you will never try. Alright? So, let's just go to Isaiah 35, a couple more places, I'll get y'all out of here. Because in order to make it to it's a place that God has prepared for his saints. So that we can escape that terrible time. Because remember, because he said the commandments, they warn the servants. We getting warning right now. Isaiah 35. It's a place that we can go to be safe. That if we make it there, God will provide. Isaiah 35 and 1. Isaiah 35 and 1. Hearken to the scripture.
The wilderness and the solitary place shall be glad for them.
God gonna bring, he giving his people a solitary place. The wilderness. The same wilderness when he brought his people Israel out of Egypt. Going back to that same place. See, that's why we need to go back and look what happened so we'll know how to act. But this place right here at this time, is just for the righteous. The rest of Israel he'll bring later. But this is the place of escape. This is the place of safety from that beast, from that false prophet that's trying to trouble Jacob. All right? So you make it to this place, you're safe. But it's only one way you can get here. You got to be holy. Because you can make it, but if you ain't holy, you're not getting in. But we'll tell you, go ahead.
And the desert shall rejoice, and the blossom of the rose.
So once you make it to this desert right now, right? But once you make it, people are you going to a wilderness? Ain't nothing out there, no wilderness. It's dry. You looking to die. But when you get there, the Lord gonna make it blossom as a rose. It's gonna bloom. It's gonna bring forth water. Go ahead. It's going to be glad for his people. Say, go ahead.
It shall blossom abundantly.
Yes.
And rejoice even with joy and singing.
Go ahead.
The glory of Lebanon shall be given unto it.
That's Israel. Come on.
The excellency of Carmel and Sharon, they shall see the glory of the Lord and the excellency of our God.
Go ahead.
Strengthen ye the weak hands and confirm the feeble knees.
That's along the way. You know, because the road ain't going to be, might not be an easy trip. Some of us have more faith than others. The one that's the strong supposed to bear the infirmities of the weak. You see somebody fainting, falling over, you strengthen them. You give them words of encouragement. It's just whatever you got to do, just keep them in the mentality of just get there. Go ahead.
Say to them that are of fearful heart, be
What?
strong,
Yes.
fear not.
Well,
Behold, your God will come with vengeance,
Mhm.
even God with a recompense.
Yes.
He will come and save you.
Go ahead.
Then the eyes of the blind shall be opened,
Yes.
and the ears of the deaf shall be unstopped.
And what happened?
Then shall the lame man leap as an hart, and the tongue of the dumb sing.
The dumb mean you can't talk. But at that time, say you'll sing. This is a lot of things going on in this place right here. Go ahead.
For in the wilderness shall the waters break out, and streams in the desert.
That's how the Lord gonna get down. He gonna provide. That place is gonna be happy that his people done made. Is this the righteous? Because remember, he told you, because you kept the word of my patience, I will keep you from that hour of temptation. Well, this is the place where you gotta go.
Right.
But this place is gonna be happy for the righteous. The Lord gonna make it like the Garden of Eden. You in the desert, and he done made like rivers of water, trees and everything. Go ahead.
And the parched ground shall become a pool,
See the parched ground, the cracked and dry ground, become pools. Go ahead.
and the thirsty land springs of water.
And what happened?
And the habitations of dragons, where each lay, shall be grass with reeds and rushes.
So you know how desert is. We got lizards and chaff floating all around. You say it ain't gonna be like that. Go ahead.
And a highway shall be there,
See, this is the way. This is what it's gonna take. What?
and a way, and it shall be called the way of holiness.
That's the only way you're gonna get in. It's the way of holiness. Go ahead.
The unclean shall not pass over,
You ain't gonna make it. The unclean ain't gonna make it. Go ahead.
but it shall be for those the
Wayfarer.
wayfaring man.
It's a traveling man. What you traveling from? You traveling from the persecution of that beast, that false prophet. This is what we made it for. See, he tried to show that with Israel. You see a wayfaring man coming to the tent, you're supposed to take care of him. You're supposed to be like me. Get like me. Go ahead.
Though fools shall not err therein.
Ain't no fools gonna err therein. Fools saying as hard there is no God. So if you do so happen to make it, and you a fool, you disobedient, you not getting in. This ain't for you. You got to go out there and deal and try to survive. Look, you on your own. Whatever happened, it's on you. You had plenty of opportunity. Go ahead.
No lion shall be there, nor any ravenous beast shall go up thereon.
Yes,
It shall not be found there, but the redeemed shall walk there.
that's right. The redeemed shall walk there. Go ahead.
And the ransom of the Lord shall return, and come to Zion with songs and everlasting joy upon their heads. They shall attain joy and gladness, and sorrow and sighing shall flee away.
That's right. Let's go to the 41st chapter. Picking up at verse 17. The Lord is giving us a way out. Just like when he delivered Noah, he gave him the ark. He gave Lot Zoar. He always made a way for the godly. I tell you, verse 17.
Yes, sir.
Okay, target to the scripture.
When the poor and needy seek water,
Yes.
and there is none, and their tongue filleth for thirst,
What happened?
I, the Lord, will hear them.
And
I, the God of Israel, will not forsake them.
he wants you to know that. He keeps telling us that. Come on.
I will open rivers in high places,
Like what?
and fountains in the midst of the valleys.
Where at?
I will make the wilderness a pool of water, and the dry land springs of water.
What are you going to do? Go ahead.
I will plant the wilderness the cedar, and the cedar tree, and the myrtle, and the oil tree. I will set in the desert the fir tree, and the pine, and the box tree together.
So if you make it to this place, you're going to have it made. He's going to make this thing like the Garden of Eden. You'll see all the harm on it, but it won't come near you. You'll be able to see the reward of the wicked, but you can be able to enjoy your place of safety. Enjoy the place that the Lord has provided. See, this is a secret place. Because the people in the world that don't keep God's commandments, you don't know about it. You still thinking He's going to come and rapture off the saints. You don't have to see no tribulation. That's not true. Next verse, go ahead.
That they may see and know and consider and understand together that the hand of the Lord hath done this, and the Holy One of Israel hath created it.
That's what He wants you to see and know and consider together, that the Holy One of Israel hath done this. Isaiah 43 and 18. I got two more. 43 and 18. Go ahead.
Remember ye not the former things, neither consider the things of old.
Go ahead.
Behold, I will do a new thing.
I'm going to do something new. Don't worry about that old stuff. I'm going to do something new. Like what?
Now it shall spring forth.
And
shall ye know it? Shall you not know it?
Yes.
I will even make a way in the wilderness and rivers in the desert.
Man, that's amazing. I'll make a way in the wilderness and rivers in the desert. Come on.
The beasts of the field shall honor me. The dragons and the owls.
Yes.
Because I have given waters in the wilderness.
Yes.
And rivers in the desert.
Yes.
To give drink to my people, my chosen.
That's why it's important for you to be in that my people, my chosen. Next verse.
This people have I formed for myself.
And
they shall show forth my praise.
Yes, amen. Psalms 91. One more after this. Psalms 91. So you don't have to take that mark. It's not going to be the only option, even though it may appear. He's warning us before this even kick off. He's showing us all the time that He delivered and made a way when it seemed like it was impossible. He can do it. But like I say, if you don't trust, we're going to be just like the forefathers in the wilderness. Tempting, falling short, always sinning. Verse 1, go ahead.
He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty.
That's right. See, this is beautiful right here. He said the place. He said he called it the secret place of the Most High, because the world don't know about it, because they won't keep His commandments. See, we reading out of the book of the law, the Old Testament, all right? That's what He's protecting us by. This is going to, what? Go ahead, give me the next verse. Go ahead.
I will say of the Lord.
What you going to say?
He is my refuge.
The Lord is my refuge. Go ahead.
And my fortress.
And my fortress. See, we'll be in the wilderness, but I guarantee you that wilderness is not going to save you. God is the one that's going to save you.
That's right.
He had it written in the law. Listen, He did this for Jesus. He's sending you to the wilderness, a place of refuge. Numbers, the 35th chapter, He called out cities for a place of refuge. And guess what happened? He sent His Son there. A place of refuge. Because you know why? The Father was even the Lord's refuge and fortress, shield and buckler.
That's right.
Huh? He sent Him to a place, a city of refuge, Nazareth. Wasn't Herod trying to kill him? A place to hide from the slayer. Same thing what He doing for His people. Giving you a city of rest. He ain't in a city right now. But once you get to that wilderness, that place of refuge, it's going to blossom and bloom. It's going to be glad for you. The righteousness is going to be there. It's a place of refuge. So you can't get rid of the law. Once you get rid of the law, you done got rid of all the protection. The Lord ain't your refuge. He ain't your fortress. None of that. Can't get rid of it. It's perfect. It's holy. It's everlasting. Go ahead.
My God, in Him will I trust.
Yeah, God. In Him will I trust.
Surely He shall deliver thee from the snare of the fowlers.
Surely You shall deliver me from the snare of the fowler. No, deliver me from the trap of Satan. Revelation 12 chapter tell you that. Satan trying to get the woman, she ran into the wilderness, and the Lord protected her. Right? Go ahead.
And from the noisome pestilence.
Yes.
He shall cover thee with his feathers, and under his wings shalt thou trust. His truth shall be thy shield and buckler.
Oh my goodness. What's going to get you? What's going to be your shield and buckler?
Truth.
Man, he had it written how he was going to protect you. How he going to shield you. How he going to be your fortress. How he going to deliver you in a time of trouble from Satan, who's chasing you down. That's why the man was getting weak. He said, won't you say to the weak, be strong. There ain't no easy road to the wilderness.
Right.
Some of them going to fall. Well, if you do, you still got to know that the Lord is your shield and buckler. You still got to trust in him. Else, you're going to fall victim to the system. It's going to be more than a black man at that time. Victim of the system. Satan's system. Take this mark. Go ahead.
Thou shalt not be afraid for the terror by night.
Yes.
Nor for the arrow that flieth by day. Nor for the pestilence that walketh in darkness.
Yes.
Nor for the destruction that wasteth at noonday.
Oh, so you ain't going to fear for all of these things. Go ahead.
1,000 shall fall at thy side, and 10,000 at thy right hand.
Well, what's going to happen to you?
But it shall not come nigh thee.
You're going to see a lot of destruction. He said, but you under the shadow, the protection of the Lord. It's not going to come near you. Go ahead.
Only with thine eyes shalt thou behold and see the reward of the wicked.
But you'll be able to see the reward of the wicked. Go ahead.
Because thou hast made the Lord, which is my refuge, even the Most High, thy habitation.
See, and this is good. This is why you can be confident and endure with people making a mockery out of you and what you can eat. And you got to celebrate those days, and you can't do holidays. You know, they just clown.
That's right.
But you go through that. Because this, you know this, and they don't know. It's funny to them at the surface, but you know how this thing gonna end. You know the Lord gonna get the last laugh. Right? Come on.
There shall no evil befall thee, neither shall any plague come nigh thy dwelling.
That's right. Go ahead.
For he shall give his angels charge over thee.
They're gonna protect you. Nobody gonna be able to do nothing against them. Ain't no man can't beat up no angel. Go ahead.
To keep thee in all thy ways.
Yes.
They shall bear thee up in their hands, lest thou dash thy foot against a stone.
Go ahead.
Thou shalt tread upon the lion and adder. The young lion and the dragon shalt thou trample under feet. Because he has set his love upon me. Therefore will I deliver him. I will set him on high, because he hath known my name.
That's right. Go ahead.
He shall call upon me, and I will answer him. I will be with him in trouble. I will deliver him and honor him. With long life will I satisfy him and show him my salvation.
This is what trusting in the Lord gets you. Protection, benefits. He don't even let you see the reward of the wicked while you dwelling in safety. Thanking God that ain't you. Thanking the Lord that you kept the word of his patience. You don't have to go through that tribulation. Thanking the Lord that your life ain't on the line at this point. Alright? But just in case you get stuck, you need to remember everything we went over. He still can provide for you. If you keep his laws, his commandments, his statutes, his testimony, you trust in him, you got to do all that.
That's right.
You can't just fall down on a job because you didn't make it to the wilderness. He already told you some of us wasn't going to make it. So you got to prepare your heart. And you got to accept your duty. That's the bed. That's just what it is. Don't mean you turn your back on God. Because you still can make it through the tribulation. All right, but you got to, if you get here, you guaranteed. All right, so give me last place, Mark 8, verse 36. So don't rely on this system. Don't rely on that beast. Don't take that mark. God can provide for you. He's been doing that. That's what he does. He's not a stranger to delivering. Perilous times are coming. Stay strong. Mark 8:36. Harken to the scripture.
For what shall it profit a man if he shall gain the whole world and lose his own soul?
I mean, gonna profit you nothing. You gain the whole world, you lose your soul. Or during the tribulation time, you take that mark, but once you take it, you're gonna lose your soul. You exchanging your soul so you can buy, sell, trade, and eat. So what's the profit is what he asked you. What is it gonna profit you in the end? Because that's only gonna be for 3.5 years. So you done sold for 3.5 years. And what happened?
Or what shall a man give in exchange for his soul?
And what shall you give? How much is your soul? How much do you value your soul? What is it worth to you? You gotta think about that. Is it worth me taking in this mark, or is it better for me to die? Because I know if I die, I'm straight. That's why I say, blessed are those that died in the Lord. If I die, I'm straight. If I take this mark, I'm straight for about 3 years. After that, it's everlasting punishment. So put this on your mind, keep it on the forefront, because it's coming. Just trust, know the Lord can provide. Don't take the mark. In Jesus' name, I thank you for your time. Hope we got some understanding. Amen. All right, I might let them know we finished. Praise the Lord. All right, we have choir practice. About 34.